We ain't playing. Hey. No, play. No, play. We live. What's going on? It's your boy SB. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't know if I can hear myself. I don't have my headphones in right now, but what's going on? We live, so y'all know what that means. It's Thursday. Hope everybody had a blessed week out there. You feel me? Hope everybody's good. All right, cool. All right, just getting a little setup over here. But what's going on, man? Hope everybody good out there. Wasn't here last week. Was out of town. And I didn't want to go live, right? It was actually the day before I was getting ready to go out of town, and didn't want to go live. Didn't want to had a lot of stuff to pack. There was a lot of stuff going on. You feel me? We was over there, went out there for a family reunion. Ended up going to Cali, and a video shoot. So actually 2 video shoots. So that was cool, and so it was a lot of packing. We have, and it's for my faith-based music. So I have like my own brand. So we had to get clothing and shirts and all that stuff. So it was cool. It was just too much going on for me to still go live as well. And then I wanted to go live in Cali, but then I was like, nah, you know what I mean? Just wanted to relax out there. Geo, what's up, Geo? He says you hate Amazon and you quitting. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me real quick before I even start answering. Can you hear me? I don't have my headphones. They're in the other room at the moment. Okay, there's this thing. Let's brighten this up, like right there. All right, cool. Okay. All right. Geo says, I hate Amazon. I'm quitting next week. Shout out to Geo. You feel me? I hope you're getting something going into something, a better job. Am I mad at you? Of course not. You feel me? Like, people leave companies every day. You know what I mean? Somebody who just trained, who was one of my trainers, just left. You know what I mean? And didn't really know about it until it was announced. I had to hit the person up on the side, like, yo, you out of here? Like, I'm out of here. So trust me, there's nothing wrong with leaving a company, especially this company. Like, it has its perks. It has its, like I said, here, and this is what I've experienced recently. I was always in a good position. You know what I mean? And until I got put in a position that I did not like, it's like, oh man, I don't like this department, this position, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, then I got to fill the shadows and the cracks. It's not always good. You can come into the company and get put into a position that you really don't like. I don't know if that's the case for you, but it happens a lot. You know what I mean? It happens a lot. And it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? It ain't for everybody. It's not for everybody. And then for everybody, it's not for forever. You could, you know what I mean? Like, it could just be for a season. It could be for, a couple years. It could be for a few weeks just to collect your checks, whatever it may be. And that's any company. We don't want to get too attached with any company. You know what I mean? That's why, I'll be trying to have other streams of income myself, even though I appreciate, like, I don't love this company. You know what I mean? I really appreciate it though. You feel me? But there was a time, even like this time last year, I was ready to quit. That's a fact, so it happens, it happens. My bad, I'm trying to fix my little chains over here. But I feel you, Gio. It happens, fam. Like I said, I hope you get something. Hope you get something even better. Rondo, what up? What up? Rondo says MET. That's what's up. Okay, you got that MET though. I know we got MET on my building. It just kicked in or just showed on our little schedule. So I'm on MET for the next month. I've been on MET for the last, or not MET. I've been VET. I've been taking up overtime for the last 4 months just because of other things that I'm doing. Like I said, when we went to Cali, shot a music video. Look at Times Square is looking fire. But same, you feel me? I'm glad the MET kicked in, so now I don't have to request the VET. I was doing it anyways. Listen, it's time to collect. It's time to collect, y'all, for sure, for sure. While we still can. That needs to be a video I gotta do. I got videos backed up that I need to drop, and I'm most likely gonna drop them this week due to the fact I didn't drop the live last week. And I'm feeling better. You know what I mean? I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more rested up. The job hasn't been as stressful. So I got to kick it back into gear on this channel. Both my channels, actually. This channel and my other channel. But yeah, MET, we on. We on. What you say? You good? Okay, cool. Y'all can hear me good out there. That's what's up. Thank you. Thank you. Gio said racism is the main reason they moving up all the non-blacks at my location that started after me, and I'm a better worker. It's time to leave forever. This is my crush, guys, not me. I should have never went back. Like my new song says, I feel the same way. Somebody call me right now. Let me see who called me. Who is it? No, I'm live right now. Who is it? Oh. Hold on. Somebody calling me. Hold on. Like my new song says, I feel some way. Amazon's racist company. A lot of people don't want to speak on it. I will. I got a vlog on that. I spoke on that before. And like kind of my idea, my overall summary on that theory, I would say, I don't think the company really can't be racist. The people in the company definitely can. And then that's the issue with a lot of companies. You know what I mean? It's the people that's outside who be typing them racist comments on TikTok with no no profile picture. Some of those people are managers. Some of them people are ops managers. Some of those people they own businesses. You know what I mean? So that's where the conflict comes in when people with those demonic hearts in the world, that demonic hate inside of them, some of those people occupy positions in the workplace, in the workforce. Actually, a lot. You believe it's sad to say, a lot of those people occupy high positions and low positions, but there's a lot in positions that make decisions. And it's sad because sometimes they're biased. But here's the thing though. You feel me? What you put out, you're gonna get back. I've seen it. I've seen that. You know what I mean? And it sucks if you're on the receiving side of it, but I've seen it. You know what I mean? So it's the same people. Our country is our country. And people outside of work that is crazy and have them, those are the same people that work in the workforce and in the economy, sadly. And it sucks because sometimes people have to deal with that. But I've always, because that's something that I had a nice amount of employees, you feel me, who was Black American people who came up to me who was dealing with things like that. And I always, you have to, listen, you can't be defeated. You know what I mean? That's like the same way if somebody, for any obstacle, you can't be defeated. And I know sometimes it's like, yeah, but I'm ready to throw these hands. You feel me? In the workplace, that ain't how it goes. You automatically lose. You know what I mean? Um, and the reason why I say that, I've encountered it, fam. You know what I mean? Like I've encountered it, but I didn't let it limit me. I didn't let it stop me. Did it slow me down a little bit? Possibly, you know what I mean? But I don't know because you know what I mean, my mind was just so crazy and so focused, I would say, that listen, it don't matter if it's racism, it don't matter if it's sexism, it don't matter if it's, feel me, tallism. I just made that up. I don't know if there's a tallism. He too tall. I don't want him around me. You'll be surprised. Insecurities. You feel me? I don't know, whether whatever it is, there's people who tried to stop me. And I didn't care because my mind was fixed. And that's the thing. We got to fix our mind past that. That's a challenge. That's a stumbling block. And I know it sucks because it's a personal one, but it's just like, and it's hard to say, you know what I mean? Because it's when you deal with that type of thing, it's not a good feeling. So it's hard to say. I'm not being dismissive at all. It's wrong. You feel me? It's evil. You feel me? But at least for me, the thing that has worked was not putting hands on somebody, not cussing somebody out, not none of that, was not letting it move me. I'm not letting it stop me, not letting it slow me down, and not using it as an excuse and dominating. You feel me? Even when they tried to block me out, you know what I mean? So don't let that hate go in your heart. That's the thing too. I be seeing, you know what I mean? That's what, You know, I've never let that hate. I love all people. Sadly, a lot of people don't do have that same way, but it's gonna go back to them. You feel me? Who's this? Corey, what up, Corey? Corey Style. That's what's up. Shout out to Corey Style. Shout out to Corey Style in the building. She says, sorry you late. I was late today too. You feel me? I had to, what was I doing? I had to set up, I had to do a few things. I was out of town last week and haven't set my space back up to where it usually is. So I had to set some stuff up. But shout out to Corey Style. Shout out to Corey Style. Steve, what up? What up, Steve? Say what's up with Zell? Oh, I know. He reached out to me. Zell reached out to me on Instagram. If you guys follow Zell, yeah, his page sadly has been terminated. Sadly, his page got terminated. Not demonetized, not a strike. His page got terminated. Like deleted his page. Crazy. It was basically off a video that he did. That they terminated his page. You know what I mean? And I don't even want to say the guidelines that they terminated it on in case or until I talk to him first. I mean, I already talked to him, but you know what I mean? I don't want to say what the guideline issue was unless he's here to explain why, you know? But yeah, sadly his page is terminated. His page is gone. He hit me on Instagram. It's like, hey, like SB, bro, they deleted my page. I was like, what you talking about? You know me like, yeah, I know you're not talking about YouTube. YouTube deleted his page, man. Crazy. So sadly, and that's one of the reasons why you got to be careful on this YouTube. That's why on these lives, I don't hit certain topics until it's a certain time. And there's certain things I'm just not going to elaborate on because you feel me? Like they don't be playing when it comes to their guidelines. So Steve, shout out to what's up to you, Steve. Shout out to Steve. Yeah, Zell's no longer on YouTube. I believe he went to Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, I'll correct it on the next video. But I think it was Rumble because he shot me a link and I was like, bro, I have no clue what that site is. I was like, is this like YouTube or something? I didn't even know what it was. I believe it's Rumble, though, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, his page is gone. And I even asked him, I was like, you gonna start back over? He was like, he can't because of the IP address. Anything that's like any channel created from his internet type thing. Crazy situation, sad situation, because his page was monetized, you know what I mean? So that's crazy. But man, shout out to Zell. Like I said, we follow, me and him follow each other. We chop it up on Instagram. So if he gives me any more updated news, I'll go ahead and let you guys know. I'll ask him too if he wants me to make a video about it. Man, I don't know if I can make a whole video about it. Well, I probably would. Who cares? That's the homie. I'll do that. But anyways, yeah, that's what happened to his channel. Sticker man with the plan. What it do? He says we have 2 PAs for Prime Week. Crazy. That sounds like it's finna be crazy. 2 PAs, but that's dope though. At least they're preparing for anything. You know what I mean? I'd rather it be 2 PAs instead of 1 PA in need of 2 PAs. It's better to be safe than sorry. Over plan. You feel me? Instead of under planning and you needing that extra PA, that extra help there. Extra PA, rather be an extra PA than an extra manager because the PAs is executors. Those are the ones that's moving and shaking. If they're a good PA, you feel me? If I was an AM, in Prime Week was coming, they was like, "Yo, you want to upstaff? You want extra hours to upstaff on a PA or a AM by your side? Which one? Give me another PA anytime." Facts. So, but that's good. You know, hopefully you guys are, do some numbers so you guys can get and collect that overtime. Now's the time. You feel me? Now's the time. You feel me? Let's get this overtime, collect while we can. So, who's that sticker man? Shout out to my guy. Gio says, I've been getting upset at leadership, leaving early and coming late. I'm going to let my UPT go low until they fire me or I quit. I feel you. Just, I would say, man, try to make sure, I would try to line up another job right now while you can, while you still are getting paid with this company, Start looking, start putting in. I mean, I hope you are. I'm sure you are. I would think so. But if you're not, I would probably start to put in applications at other jobs. So hopefully it can be a smooth transition from leaving this company, boom, straight into something else. Your money flow doesn't stop. You know what I mean? That'll be official. Rondo says, Gio, you have to find where you fit in. I switched shifts and I got my learning ambassador vest doing nothing different. That is facts. Good. That's a good point, Rondo. Very good point. I think that's a great point. Um, you got to get in where you fit in. That's a great point. Um, I've seen that going into different departments, going on to a different shift. It could be a totally different vibe. It could be like the one shift can already have everything laid out. They already have in mind who's next for the PG, who's next down to the water spotters. They probably already have their favorites, et cetera, et cetera. Um, you know what I mean? So they probably might be already closed or close, they're close knitted already, which could affect how quick somebody else can get into position. But and then you can go to another shift and they, you know what I mean? You just connect more, you just vibe more. There's just, so that's true. It could be different on a different shift, but there's just certain things that's not going to change with the company. You know what I mean? Um, so I guess it kind of goes down to if you feel it's worth it. You know what I mean? If you feel like, man, I like the company, it's just these people it seems a little shady, then I would try another shift. Shout out to Rondo, good stuff. Corey says, has ICE been to they go on the sites? You know what? I saw a TikTok of this dude, and he said, what's that word you have to say? Allegedly, they went to his site and like half the people was gone, but he didn't show nobody. He didn't show no agents. You know what I mean? And you can use the internet. And you got to remember, Amazon equals clout. It could equal clout, especially online. Like one of my videos got almost 1 million views on, you know what I mean, off of TikTok. So sometimes people be using Amazon and whatever situation for clout. And with that video of his, I don't know. It could be. I don't know if it's true. I don't know because Google is real simple. And Google, I mean, yeah, Google, they would put that in the internet. They would put that out like, yo, Amazon. But I didn't check. Let me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna check right now live. Let's see what they say. But my site, from my knowledge, they didn't. But I Google search. Let me see. I highly doubt that. Okay, warehouse and shipping workers against ICE at Amazon. That's deep. That's a movement at Amazon now. That was 4 days ago. This is not a press release. This is somebody in Amazon vest saying warehouse and shipping workers against ICE join us. That's deep. What they like join you? What they finna do with Amazon? On the line, we are warehouse leaders react after video services of ICE raid or at a food truck. Um, I'm not seeing anything on Amazon, especially no press release. So I don't know. Oh wait. Oh snaps. Oh, this is February though. I see something on February. This is World Specialist website. That sounds iffy already, but it says ICE allegedly conducts raid at JFK 8 Amazon in New York City, but this was February 13th, 2025. Other than I don't see anything recent. Okay, I see a warehouse closing. Oh, what? Oh, that was January. I don't know if I did a video on that. Yeah, I'm not seeing nothing recent. So I would take that with a grain of salt, especially in that video. If it's the same one that I'm talking about, I didn't see any. I didn't see any proof, but I could be absolutely wrong. So if anybody in here has seen that at their site, let us know. That'd be pretty deep. If they go to Amazon's, that's crazy. I mean, it makes sense though. I wouldn't be surprised, but I would be surprised. You know what I mean? Like y'all point them to Amazon. You feel me? That's so yeah. Drop it in the comment section if anybody if ICE has been to your site. But mine, I don't believe so because I think they would come in. some sort of uniform, right? Agents, you're right. I ain't seen no agents in my building, and I haven't heard about it either. So let us know in the comment section. Sticker Man says GRR1 is so crazy with phone asset tags, no screening coming in, but mass screening coming out. Terrible for security. That is deep. That's deep. Yeah, hopefully they get some they can up that security of people coming in. I always thought that too when I was in the warehouse, like we getting scanned and stuff coming out, but what about these folks coming in? That's funny. I thought that same thing, especially with some of the drama and nonsense that be happening. 105, drop that to 103. Yeah, there you go. Oh wait, what you say? The leadership tells me I'm a great worker. They don't want me to leave. I have to. My pride and self-respect for them is gone because they come to work early. Is that or late? Is that what you said? Um, I started with this location when they first opened. This is how they do the best store or their best worker. Sometimes it's like that, fam. It bees like that. Sometimes it bees like that. Sticker Man says, my senior op did not know about SB, so I told her he is corporate and I know his perspective on Amazon. Did not, hey, yeah, you know what I mean? Don't, let's not tell too many. I like staying low key, just being honest. Everybody don't be happy, and it's sad, but there are some people that's haters out there for whatever weird reason. You feel me? But people are just weird in these times. But shout out to you, man. I appreciate that. Um, I appreciate that. You know what? As a matter of fact, go ahead. Tell everybody. That's cool. We could tell them. You could tell them. That's what's up, though. I appreciate that, fam. Senior Op did not know about SB, so I told her he is corporate and I know his perspective on Amazon. That's what's up. That's what's up. It's funny too because I have a nice amount of seniors that I know about me because they've reached out. I've had them reach out to me on Slack. Hey, bro, I love your YouTube, man. How'd you get started? I'm thinking about starting my own room. You know what I mean? Not them not doing YouTube content. Of course, they have NDAs and all that stuff, but them wanting to do other type of content. But I've had them reach out to me before, so that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Amazon is like a prison. Rumble is great. Amazon's like a prison. Man, I don't know what prison you've been to. Prison is low-key legal slavery. I don't know if people know that. In the Constitution, it's like slavery was abolished except in prison. You know what I mean? I don't know the exact words. I forgot the exact words, but if y'all look that up, slavery's not done. Slavery's now for prisoners. You know what I mean? So they be out there in them fields. They work jobs and get paid like what, a dollar, 5 cents, 60 cents, something a day. So nah, Amazon's not, you feel me? Yes, Amazon's taxing and could be redundant, it could be strenuous for sure. Cause that's why I've been liking on my videos. It's stressful working in Amazon sometimes for sure. I agree. But like prison, I don't know about that one. You feel me? But I feel where you're coming from. I feel where you're coming from, though, fam. I feel you. But that's why I be saying, man, tax them. Are they calling me again? Nah. I might have naps. If I get a call, I might have to answer that. Just if they call again, because I got to make sure that's not important or not an emergency. All right. Amazon's like a prison. Rumble is great. Okay. I've never checked. I've heard of Rumble though. There was this content creator on TikTok, and his page kept getting deleted because he's like a truther and all that stuff. And then he ended up hitting me up like, yo, follow me on Rumble. But I never went to Rumble though. Should have. Shout out to Rumble. Gio says I be helping everyone on multiple stations, and I be loading the trailers when the people get tired and it's too hot in the trailers by myself. I've been doing that for 4 weeks now. Okay. Well, first thing I would say, you might want to cut back on all the extra stuff. You know what I mean? Like maybe you don't have to help everyone on multiple stations. Maybe you just do your job. You know what I mean? He says, and I be loading the trailers when people get tired. Don't do that. Let me just load the trailers. If they get tired, you just, do your pace, but I wouldn't go, you know what I mean? I could see how you would get burned out if you're trying to work for everybody else. When they first opened, they want me to switch to night shift to get my learning ambassador vest. I got mad at all leadership and the PAs. They all like me. That's why I'm still there. I feel it. It'll probably be best if it do seem like it's that. It seems like it's that time to go though, fam. You know me because you've been on a rant since the last time you worked there, and you went back, you tried it again, and you still kind of have this distaste of it in your mouth. You know what I mean? It's probably time to go. You know what I mean? And that's okay. But I would just suggest that you find another job first before you just quit. But if you already maxed out mentally, then you got to go and you got to go. You got to do what's best for you. But if you're gonna be there for a few weeks still, I would like you feel me? Part-time, your new part-time job should be looking for another job so you don't go without finances, during that period of time. Remember, your words was, yo, it's hard out here, these jobs, they not hiring, boom. You were saying that, so I will kind of use that as a remembrance before you step back out into this job market with no job. I would really just use this time to find another gig until you leave. Sticker Man says our arms or our AMs are our arms. I don't know why I thought it was an R there. Hilarious. Oh, like my dude's arm. He been in the gym. Okay, Sticker Man. Our AMs are quitting. Ops are quitting at this moment. Bro sucks. I can do it, but no resume built. Man. It do seem well, no. There's a few people that quit in my department too. So it does seem like people, you know what I mean? People getting stressed out right now. People getting stressed out. It's different. I've said that before. We're in different times. We're in new times. This year's stress is not like last year's stress. You feel me? This is new waters that we're in. As I've said 2 years ago, I was like, we're gonna get to a point where people are gonna be breaking. I'm seeing that it's almost a normal thing where you can go online and you see somebody breaking, snapping. You know what I mean? Like how many times I'll come on TikTok and somebody's literally just they snap, they just broke on, they record themselves yelling and breaking stuff and they just going through it. Um, so I know that's going to continue to happen in the workplace. We're going to continue to see people quitting, continue to see people snapping, breaking, because it's not just the pressure of the workplace, but the pressure of life outside of the workplace as well. So um, if you're good with your team, you should probably have them help you write your resume. Um, so then you can start to put in for positions that open up. Since you say you have no resume built, your team should help you with that. Amazon is awesome. Mad money. I be worked through. Oh, you worked through the pain. No wellness for me. I'm a learning ambassador now. Too awesome. 5 years of training. That's what's up. Take advantage of the away team, fam. It sounds like you would need a cool away team. That's what it sounds like you need. You feel me? Go on a vacation, go launch a building. Kill it on a job site, but enjoy it. Enjoy the vacation. That's what it sounds like you need right now, man. Go ahead, Sticker Man, and go hit a away team real quick. He says learning ambassador used to be 3 days of training, but 5 hours now, which is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy, especially for new associates too. Stuff those bins and stow. Who cares about bin collision or multiple events? Food violations are real. Food? It's not called robots no more. Food violations? That's hilarious. Shout out to the food violations. Geo says, Rondo, that's what they want me to do. Leadership and the learning department had a talk after lunch today. They said they don't need no more ambassadors for my shift. They will give it to you if you switch. Well, that makes sense. If it's not a business need, then there's nothing that you know what I mean? There's nothing you can do about that part. But wait it out. Because I'm sure, 3-4 months, somebody's gonna run out of UPT or somebody, Amazon is like a revolving door in all positions, low key. Ambassadors seem, those are the ones that seem, honestly, in my opinion, I'm not a representative of the company. I'm not a spokesman of the company. I gotta say that. All that good stuff. But in my experience, Amazons are kind of in the pocket. They're in their position more so. Nah, I think PAs Uh, I don't know. That's kind of a good one right there. Who stays in their position longer, the PAs or ambassadors? Because ambassadors low key are like on a waiting list as well, unless they, they don't want them in leadership, so they just stay as a PA forever. That can be that's like the two extremes I've seen. I see them boom go, they're a PA for 7 months or maybe like a year, and then boom, they go into an AM role. And then it's either that or I see them stay, they've been a PA for 5 years because they're not about to get promoted. Central Park. But yeah, let's see. All right. So Corey says, yes, ICE has been to her site. What? That's crazy. And others nearby. And you're in Georgia. Why is there no press release about that? All right, hold on, y'all. Hold on. I gotta take this. Hold on, real quick, you guys. All right, I had the mic muted because I thought I was gonna take this call. It's somebody else. My phone. Everybody wants to call. Wait until I'm on live to start blowing me up. But all right. So Corey, I haven't seen any info on that online. That's crazy because I definitely would think that would be newsworthy of that taking place in an Amazon warehouse. That's deep. But Corey says that ICE has been to her site and others nearby. She's in Georgia. My site just informed those who are part of a specific program. I saw that. That's what I did see. I wasn't going to say it, but yeah, I saw that email. I saw that email. Um, yeah, I saw that email. You know what I mean? And that's yeah. But it didn't say nothing about no ICE though. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But your site just informed those who were part of specific programs that this week is their last week as well. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. Listen, everybody who's in here, if you ain't hit that like button yet, hit that like button one time. But yeah, that's crazy, Corey. I'm saying I haven't seen or heard anything about that. That's deep. Sticker Man says we are all private company, no interviews, just hire silly people. Man, I feel it. Can that happen sometimes? I think that could happen. But all the time, I think I've said this one time about I did a vlog on this. Amazon has had some of the silliest managers, but it's low key a minority. Maybe that's just my experience. I've come across some of the dopest managers with this company. You know what I mean? So I think it's a hit and miss. They do a lot of hires of people straight out of college. You know what I mean? Like there's the interview process, but it's not like you truly, you know what I mean? So of course there's gonna be some bad apples that get in, but I think that's every company. But I wouldn't say, you know what I mean? I think they have a decent amount of management though. And maybe there's some who were pretty trash that grew into being better managers too. But that could be different. Everybody's experience could just be my experience. You know what I mean? I've gotten to be around mostly really good managers. And even the bad ones, they weren't bad because like they just you know what I mean? Like they took the easy route as a manager. You like the fun manager. And it's like, yeah, I'm a salary, so I see that yeah, you're doing this just for your employees to love you, but I still look at everybody's perception. So I'm like, yo, how does the ops look at this guy? You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? But that's just my experience. Shout out to the managers though. I've come across a lot of dope ones. A few bad apples though, too, for sure. Gio says, and I like working 9 to 5. I still have the rest of my day working 5:30 to 1 a.m. is not an option for me. I have anxiety and have to be asleep before 2 a.m. That's deep. Saul laughing. Believe, what up? Believe was good. Said, what's up, SB? I'm on vacation for 2 weeks, and I already know when I get back, it's gonna be tough. I'm a PA, and this is my second vacation this year. I know it's gonna be tough going right back. Okay, right back before Prime. You should have just took it. Well, you a PA, so it's different. You know what I mean? They're gonna look at you funny, probably, most likely, if you take your vacation right on Prime. Even though that would be the best time to take it, not as a PA though. You know, that's like going on vacation for the Super Bowl or for the, you know what I mean, the playoffs. So that's what's up. And kill it, kill it. You definitely gonna feel it, you know what I mean? But that's what it's about as a PA. You already know. But enjoy them. You say vacation for 2 weeks though. That's what I'm talking about. That's a vacation. That's a perfect time for vacation. 2 weeks. Mwah. You feel me? Chef's kiss right there. You feel me? That's like perfect time. Perfect time. Because sometimes if it's, just a week, by the time you finally detach from work and your mind settles and you feel me recalibrates, it's already time to go back. So 2 weeks, enjoy, my dude. Enjoy. I also don't get any MET as a PA in my delivery station. That's crazy. But it kind of that's deep. That man. Well, uh, hopefully you can get some VET this year just to capitalize on it. Sorry, SB, she doesn't go on social media. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Listen, I'm not like the type, I'm not like trying to get famous or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool off fame. I'll take the finances. You feel me? But fame and notoriety and like being known in Amazon, it's like I don't really want to be that guy because I still work here. You know what I mean? So no, that's cool. That's cool with me. I don't mind. Um, that's what's up. Shout out though. Shout out to you, Sticker Man, for because I know how it is. Like, you just spreading the channel and showing love. So I appreciate you, my dude. Appreciate you. That's what's up. Amazon is slaveries, bro. We need numbers. Nah, man. It's definitely not slavery. It's definitely not that. Slavery was different. They was murdering people. They was doing the most demonic stuff. You feel me? So nah, it ain't that for sure, for sure. It ain't even prison, but it definitely ain't no slavery. You got a choice to work in Amazon. You didn't have no choice in slavery. So it's definitely not that. But I feel where you trying to come from, though. I feel where you trying to come from. Rondo, I'm picking in the top 97%. Let's go. I've been doc positive 2 months in a row, 350 rate and no errors. No errors in 2 months, big dog. There you go. Okay. Okay. Look at Rondo over here bullying. You feel me? That's what's up. They're making me a PA supposedly. I can see that because they want you to instill that mindset and your skill set into the rest of them employees. You know what I mean? So congrats, my dude. Congrats. And here's the thing. You got the numbers, you got the skill. Now, Rondo, keep that mind right, fam. I'm telling you, I be trying to tell people the mindset, that's the ticket. The skills, good. This, good. That's what's up. Okay, we see you. But that mindset, that'll take you far. You know what I mean? So keep all the skills, keep all this. Now, I don't know where your mindset is at work and all that stuff, but stay motivated, stay positive, always look on the good side. You feel me? That'll take you a long way. You know what I mean? So good stuff, Rondo. Good stuff. Let us know when you get that promo. Sticker Man says, I love Amazon Amnesty because it's dope, less work, but then you have to work, enjoy your work, help people out. See, that wasn't, you never heard that from slaves. You feel me? Oh, yeah, today was a good day. No, you feel me? They were prisoners of war. You look at you, yeah, Amnesty's dope though. You know what I mean? Shout out to Amnesty though. They would always be y'all. That Amnesty did seem easy. It seemed chill. It was just, you know what I mean? It did seem chill. Shout out to Amnesty. And when you like what you do, fam, that's money right there. That's the goal, to enjoy what you do. That's the goal. How do I become a PA? Get with your team, get with your manager, let them know when you want to become a PA. That's the first step right there. And then after that, you do want to get that resume together. And but I did a video on that. I did a vlog, and it's a pretty good vlog. I would check that out. But the first step, let your AM know, and you ask them that. This needs to be the question for your AM. What do I do to become a PA? Not what you do. Ask them, what are the steps I need to take? You want steps, because then he'll give you step one, step two, step three. Don't even worry about three, four, five, six yet. As soon as he gives you one, then you go do one step, that step, then you return back. I did step one. Let's go to step two. Because now you're holding yourself accountable and he knows where you want to go, but then you're holding him accountable too. I think that's one of the one of the best things right there to do that I've seen work. So yes, first step, chop it up with your manager and OM if possible. I would do the OM as well. That's what I did. I told they whole meet. They was having a meeting. OM senior probably in there. I went there like, hey, I need to be a manager in this place. How do I do that? Like I was crazy, but they loved it though. You know what I mean? They loved it. So first step, talk to your ops and your manager. Gio says it is. That's why I'm no longer working her. I'm not loading my more trailers fast. I'm taking my time, and also I'm going really slow for now on. I'm not working fast or hard anymore. See, you're going from one extreme to the other extreme. You know what I mean? But you already made up your mind you want to leave, so that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you do. That's what you do. I would try to find a middle spot, not to where you're working hard, but you're just doing your job, um, and not working fast or, but just doing your job, because that is okay. It is okay just to do your job. Everybody doesn't have to go above and beyond. It's there for those who want to do so. And, but I wouldn't go to the extreme of becoming like lazy and like, but that's just me. But you're already at the end of your rope, so I get it. You feel me? I get it. Sticker Man says, "What is foo? Explain." Right, I don't know what foo is. I have no clue. I remember robots, which was what was it, Reach or something, or Reach? I don't know. O was oversized. B was like, I don't even remember robots. You feel me? But that's what I remember it being called. I've never heard of food though. SB, I ain't waiting on that, sir. I should have been the first pick. Then you feel me? There's your answer. You feel me? Then just it's time to go. Then it's time to go. All that frustration that's bottled up, nah. You feel me? I don't do that. You feel me? Like if it's this, it's this. If it's that, it's that. Like you gotta remember leadership we talked about. Leaders gotta make that decision. You feel me? You gotta make the decision. Try to set yourself up for success. Like I'm saying, try to set up applications, but for sure, your mind is set. Now just start, you feel me? I would say start getting applications and other jobs before you just leave. But complaining about or going any more into it, that's not like beneficial. All right. Food was amnesty. Ah, okay. Flat overhang. See, overhang was on robots as well. Okay, that's what's up. So food was for amnesty. Didn't know that. I don't know if it was called that back then when I was in the warehouse, but we had robots. That's what it was called for inbound. Still, not sure if it's still called that. I'm pretty sure it should be though, but I don't know. Shout out to Rondo. Shout out to Rondo. Gio said leadership told me they was never a learning ambassador, and I can skip that and go straight to PA leadership. But you just said you don't want to work there no more. You know what I mean? So if you don't want to work there no more, there probably isn't a reason to entertain that. But that's dope they said that, because obviously they still see a future with you. But I don't know if that, but hold on. I don't know if this is going to stay the same if you plan on going from one extreme of doing everything and helping everybody to the other extreme of being slow and not working hard. I don't think that's going to stay the same. You know what I mean? But yes, we'll see. Double down. What up, though? What up? Good evening. I hit that thumbs up. Thank you much, fam. Everybody else who's tuned in, if you ain't hit that like button, hit that like button real quick. Shout out to Double Down in that building. Rondo says, when you get coached for last touch, it has to do with food. Okay. Got you. Got you. That's what's up. Saul says, are we getting raises this year? I wouldn't hold my breath. You will me? But anything's possible. Anything's possible with this company. So I think it possibly could happen and then possibly not happen. I haven't heard of them speaking on anything about that. But if so, we're gonna find out. Sticker Man says ICE allegedly conducts raid at JFK. Yeah, I saw that. But that's February. So that was a while ago. Well, that's not too wild. February. No, yeah, that was a few months. That was a while ago. But people have kind of been saying that it's been recently. So I ain't seen nothing. I don't know. That's a deep situation to be in, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's deep. Saul says I'm a tier 1 and be telling my AM what to do. He's a college grad. Yeah, that's the sad part. No, what's sad? That's not uncommon. This is not uncommon. It's low key. This is almost the norm from what I've seen in my experience. I can't tell you how many times a college grad, and here's the thing too. This is the part I don't like. I don't mind when you go to your tier 1s and definitely your PAs to get all the information and do everything, but yada yada yada. Woo, 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 woo. Cool, I understand that. But what I didn't like, here's what I didn't like about this situation. Because they would come in humble. They'll come in real humble. You know what I mean? And real just humble. You feel me? Like, okay, cool. This is what's up. But then once they get the knowledge, next few months, prideful. You feel me? Think they own the place, talking to people crazy. You feel me? It's like, and turn into something else. It's like, where's that humble person that came in that didn't know nothing? You were humble then. Now you think you running this. You know what I mean? You got an attitude and this and that. I didn't like that part, That wasn't all of them, but I did see it happen a few times, But that just shows you you're not ready for this, fam. You're not ready for leadership. Everything speaks. Your attitude speaks. You feel me? When it speaks when you're low, when you don't know nothing, and it speaks when you up. Your success speaks how you act when you get that success. It also speaks when you hit your failures. It all speaks. And I listen. That's the thing, people don't be listening. I watch, I observe very closely everybody I'm around because the workplace is such a revealing place, more than just work. That's why I love the workplace. It's revealing. You can know who you sit next to more so than some of their family members because they're there next to you most of the day. And situations happen in the workplace that don't happen outside of work as frequently as they do in the workplace. Somebody's temper may not get tested at home or outside the workplace as much as it does in the workplace. So that's what I love about the workplace, man. You can you find out a person or a lot about a person quick. You work in an SSD. Okay. I know I've seen that happen in the FC a nice amount of times as well. Shout out to the SSDs though. Oh, I gotta let me catch up on these comments. Sticker Man says ops don't know nothing about stow or pick. He is trucker guy only. He's trying but don't know anything about inbound. Yeah, only thing you can do at that point is question the people who put him there. Like, what was y'all doing? And what is this really about? If you put him here and he ain't got none of this knowledge, what is he really doing? What is it? That's I don't know. Sticker Man says, I get screwed 10 minutes a week and some UPT I enjoy when I see it every week. Failed Amazon. Geo says, I really want my UPT to go low and not show up and get fired or just leave and let it go. Bad on Monday before my days off. I left early and let all the boxes go into the wrong trailers. I've been doing that for the past 2 weeks They are so short-staffed and have a lot of bad, lazy workers that's not even good at nothing really. They just work there. I feel you, fam. But don't let it change you or don't let it expose you. You feel me? Like, I don't think that's the great thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I let it go into the wrong trailer and you know what I mean? Like, I get you don't want to work hard for sure. You know what I mean? Like, you lost that zeal. It happens for sure. But listen, we got to keep retracting back. You said a statement that's powerful. You don't want to work there anymore. So once that you get that point, I think it's time to make decisions. You know what I mean? It's time to make decisions. Saul says Amazon's a piece of cake. Sweet job. Depending, depending on your position. Depending on your position, fam. Because it can be. And I've experienced some positions that was cake, bomb cake. You got me easy money. But then I've been in positions that gave me gray hairs. It wasn't easy money. It wasn't easy money at all. I want to be like, yo, keep your money. You feel me? So, but for the most part, I think it's more so easier things. But like I say, you can fall in a crack, you can fall in a crevice. You know what I mean? Like being in a room and being, like, oh man, this room is nice. But then there may be like a crack in the corner, or maybe, you know what I mean? There's some of them. but But yeah, for the most part, I think it is cake for people who can bear this industry. Because there's some people who just can't do the warehouse industry. They can't stand them standing on their feet alone is too much for them. I've seen that happen before. And that's okay. It's just not your industry. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, especially if you're in the warehouse industry or you're familiar with it, then yeah, I think that's when I think it's a piece of cake. If you worked at a FedEx, if you worked at a UPS, if you worked at you feel me, these other companies. I've worked at this place called Estes West. I've worked at you feel me, except Vibe Magazine warehouse in Cali. I worked there. Haha, I quit. Oh, I quit expeditiously. I quit quick. I ain't never quit a job that quick. That was the worst warehouse job. It was the worst. You feel me? So yes, out of all my warehouse jobs, Amazon was the easiest. That needs to be a vlog right there. But I've said it so many times, I don't think it needs to be a vlog. But I'm gonna write it down just in case. Because I gotta catch up on these vlogs, man. I got so many I gotta do. All right. Glad you just said that. Amazon's not slavery. There are way worse jobs out there. Tourist guy. Shout out to tourist guy. What's good with you, my dude? Facts. No job is slavery. If you have the option to be there, that's not slavery. You getting paid to do that job, that ain't slavery. You feel me? Like that's what I didn't like about. But I know people just say that off what they think. You know what I mean? Just oh, this is slavery. No, slavery has a history. You know what I mean? That's in my bloodline. Being a prisoner of war. You feel me? That ain't Amazon's not that. You feel me? Nah, it ain't that. You feel me? So yeah, it may suck. Yeah, it may be stressful. Yeah, maybe, but you always have the choice to quit. You always have the choice to find something better. Imagine what that says about you. If you think something is this bad, but you don't leave, what does that say about you? I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I'm just being honest. Like imagine. I don't have to imagine. I've seen plenty of people rant and rant and rant. That's speaking. That's speaking. This is telling me something about you as a person. That's a deeper issue. You know what I mean? I've had my challenges with this company for sure, but you feel me? I never said, yo, I'm about to quit. I'm about to quit. I hate this place. And then stay here. There's something wrong with that. You know what I mean? There's a deeper issue at hand that needs to be worked on. You know, I got to the point where I almost quit, you know, but I didn't tell you guys that. I was like, it was real stressful for a minute, and I was getting to that point. It was a breaking point, like, man, I don't think I can do this. And if I would have hit that point, then I would have started looking and I would have went elsewhere. Why? Because if something If I hate something, I'm not gonna stay there. You know what I mean? So yeah, people who complain about Amazon, they should just quit. And if you don't, if you hate any job, forget just Amazon, if you hate any job, here's the thing too. And this is why I say it's deeper. If I can't count how many people are in situations in life that they hate, but they won't leave it. You feel me? They won't stop doing the thing that makes them terrible. That speaks. I'm saying I'm an analyzer. Sometimes it's not always for the best because I can see something in this person's life. And I didn't want to tell them, but I gotta, close my mouth sometimes. But yeah, if you hate any job, don't work on getting out. You know what I mean? I wouldn't just quit right away unless it's a health issue, unless it's a mental issue, unless it's a stress issue. If you got to get up out of there, get up out of there. I would always suggest that you take a month, you know what I mean, and start to really put your effort and energy into finding another occupation so you don't miss finances coming in. Shout out to Taurus. Shout out to Taurus. Geo says you want to be slaves. I see, fam. Y'all, y'all got to stop using that. There was people who really, in my bloodline, people was really slaves and prisoners of war, and that ain't something we just throwing around in this place. Nah, that ain't Amazon. Ain't slave, fam. It ain't that at all. Like, hold on, fam. I'm in a new home right now, brand new one, first one living in this place. All glory to God, first off. But you feel me? I was blessed to have this job to give to for the finances to get into this home. That studio behind me, you feel me? Them speakers, if I could show you the whole room in here, ain't no slave living like that. Stop it. What's that? Stop it. Get some help. Michael Jordan, stop. Get some help. It's not for everybody. I get it. Trust me, I was in a position where I thought I was going to leave too. But it got to the point, you know what I mean? I was able, all right, that stress, anxiety, and stuff. I ain't never felt anxiety until I worked for this company. That's a fact. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying it's hard, but this is what it's not. That's what we're not gonna say it is. It ain't that at all. Because if it was this, hold on, I'm trying to leave the comment, but it just don't make sense. If it was this, why you come back? Why would you come back? Let's continue. Shout out to Geo though. All right, Believe says, yeah, as a PA, I can pick up regular VET or contact the manager. Okay, nice. Yeah, max out on that, man. Take advantage of it while we can. Saul says, everyone here, run up those likes. Yes, if y'all ain't hit that like button yet, hit that like button. Geo says, you making another man rich and you're living off $20. I'm not living off $20 an hour. I'm more than, thankful, glory to God. But yeah, no, I'm more than that. You know what I mean? But if it was, there was a time where I was under $20. And guess what? I was grateful. There was a time when I started off lower than $20 and I was grateful for that. Facts. Because I knew it was going to be people like this. Oh, I encountered people like this. And when I first worked for this company, oh, this place is trash. It's slavery. It's only 90, or what'd you say? We're not even making this much money. And guess what I did? Promotion, jump right over them. And the next people, promotion, jump right over them. You feel me? It's this. This is the problem. This is the problem. The mentality is the problem. You feel me? If this is the attitude, this is the problem. It ain't the rich man. You feel me? It ain't no, that's not the problem. If this is the attitude, this is the problem. You know what I mean? And if it's not for, we said this plenty of time. If it ain't, it's not for everybody. But the person that it's not for, that has this, is going to leave. You're not going to stay there. Geo, put in your 2 weeks already, fam. You got to go out, leave, because you came back to this company. Why did you come back then? You know what I mean? I understand your frustration, fam. But why did you come back? You know what I mean? Why did you come back if that's the case? All right. Saul says, Gio, you seem stressed out, man. Or you seem stressed out. Amazon's supposed to be a temporary job for you to get that to the next step. You are not singing your life, or you're not signing your life away here. Says, come on, Gio. No, that's a fact though, man. That's a fact. And because this is the thing, it's not a lifetime job for everybody. Some people, they only go into Amazon while they're in school, and that's great. There's some people who only work there for 6 months, and that's great. And there's some people who do work for the company 10 years and 20 years, and that's great. If it's okay for them, if it works for them, if they like it, I love it. If they like it, I love it. Everybody's different though. The company's been good to me. I told y'all this. The workforce is a game. Every job, you got to treat it like a game. And the game that I always try to play is leave the company better than what you came. Yeah, if it's hard, it could be a challenging, strenuous job, but there's a lot of pros that you can use to maximize your life that you can take advantage of. That's what I did. Instead of me complaining, I was working overtime when everybody was talking about, oh, this is slavery. I said, give me the money, give me the overtime. They don't want it, give me it. I'll take it. Oh, I don't want this for get the promotion. They don't want it, give it to me, give me it. Pac-Man over here. I'm eating it all up. You feel me? Since I came through these doors, I said, whatever they don't want to do, give it to me. I'll do it. And I'm pretty thankful for where it got me. You know what I mean? Now, does that mean I'm going to stay here for my life? I don't want to. You feel me? Because yes, it could be stressful, and stress ain't healthy. But you feel me? I'm maximizing the opportunity that I have here, and it's working. So I'm trying to stay here as long as I can, mentally and on my body, physically and spiritually, to continue to maximize this. I just shot a here, Geo. I just shot a music video last week, Geo. Did you? You're a rapper, right? You a rapper, fam. Did you shoot your music video yet? My studio is sitting right behind me. I'm in an office, right? My office right now. This is called the dream room. I'm in my dream room right now. That's what I'm saying. And if you don't want to do that with Amazon, understandable. But the reality is, like, complain about not having a learning ambassador vest, capitalize off the opportunity. Forget the ambassador vest and get the finances to fund the dream. I don't get why this is hard. You know what I mean? But I do. I don't get it, but I do get it. I should show y'all. Should I show that? I'll show y'all the spot. I just shot a video. I had to rent it out. I had to rent out a facility to shoot a video. And where did I get the funds to do that? On top of pay my mortgage, on top of pay my HOA fee, on top of paying for, you feel me, marketing and promotion for another video I got out, on top of paying for my gear and my merch that I have. Where did that come from? The opportunity that I had to work overtime. Remember how I just worked them 60 hours plus with that holiday pay? Oh yeah, that's why I did that. You know what I mean? You stressing me out, Gio. You stressing me out, man. Shout out to Gio, man. But we got to kick this into gear, fam. I need to make a class. I need to make a class for people who have goals and dreams for this company, because people is not maxing out. And that's always been something I've seen working for this company from some of the homegirls they did like little nails and all this stuff, lashes. It's like, yeah, you can really capitalize, and people just don't be doing it, man. All right, let me continue. And D, what up? It says, yo, SB episode 100. Hey, it is. I forgot, right? So we had an episode 100. That's a lot. Let's go. And it's time to kick it into gear. I'm going to shoot a vlog right after this. I got to get back on it. This last week, we didn't have the live. I was in Cali. As I was just saying, I shot a music video. I shot my music video and a couple other visuals, and then I went to the homies video shoot. So I didn't want to do that and the live. I had a lot going on last week to get ready for that video shoot. So I didn't go live, but we here today, and I got to kick it back into gear on this page for sure, for sure. So hopefully, this is the 100th episode for the live, and hopefully I can kick it back into gear with these vlogs so we can continue to tread ground. You feel me? Continue to elevate over here, because that's what we about. So shout out to ND. Thank you for the congrats, fam. Truly appreciate that. ND's been, you feel me, one subscriber who's been supporting for the longest, who's been around, been on the channel for the longest. As like many of you others who have as well. It's truly appreciated. Thank you. Gio says it's my last week. Okay, for sure. Don't go back on it. You feel me? Stick to your guns. Now, every single day until this next week is up, you should be putting in applications if you haven't been doing that. If you have, I'm sure, hopefully you have. That should be what you do every day. You feel me? Every day you should be putting in applications so you can keep the funds coming. Fam, you say your dream is to be a rapper, right? You got new music videos over there? You recording yourself yet? You got any albums coming out? You feel me? You got stuff you working on? You got your clothing brand yet? You got your website yet? You know what I mean? There's a whole lot that needs to be done than just the end goal when it comes to these dreams. It's a lot of work. People always see the dream. Yeah, I want to be a rapper. Yeah, I want to be a singer. Yeah, I want to be this. That's Z. That's Z. That's why I like the little A to Z. That's Z. That's the end goal. That's the vision. That's the final vision. I'm going to be that. Okay. Now come on back. Come on, pass. You want Z, come all the way back to A and take the steps that gets you to Z. You don't jump A to Z. We got to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. You feel me? So it's a lot of work in steps in between that A to Z that we got to put in. Them steps ain't comfortable. Them steps ain't fun. Them steps ain't always pretty. Them steps ain't always victorious. There's failures in between them steps. There's stress in between them steps. Them steps. There's frustrations in between them steps. You know what I mean? But that's what you got to go through. And we're never going to get to Z if we quit. And if we're not properly planning, especially dealing with dreams and goals. That's the whole brand on this page. That's my logo. That came from my brain. That came from right here to that poster. Yeah, I got some shirts and hats. I got a hat over here too. Shout out to it. Let me switch this. Got to have a brand in the back. You know what I mean? That's my hat. That came from my brain. That came from my money from working from overtime at Amazon. You feel me? Man, people be playing. I'm low-key playing because I need to be maxing out this channel, dropping more videos. Anyways, let's keep going. All right. Saul says, I work at an SSD and my manager let me work 60 every week if I want to. What? That's deep. I don't even pick up shifts. They manually fix my time and let me start extra if I want. Fire. That's dope. That's dope, fam. I'm going to focus on me. For sure, but just be smart. Focus on you while continuously bringing in a check. I would do that. Everybody's different though. I'm gonna pull up where I just shot my video too, so I can show you and how much I had to pay for that. Show you this ain't free. Being a rapper ain't free. Being anything ain't free. Oh, I want to be this. You sure? You sure? It's a cost. It's a cost to everything. And that's the thing. People don't want to pay the price or want to. Let me stop. All right, let me just keep going. Saul says, I know how to run the doc and VNA very well, though. That's what's up. That's what's up. Why does Disney thing keep coming on? Since I was just in Cali, I was just in LA too. The little spot, the video shoot place. Let me know if y'all want to see where I just shot a video at. Let me know. I'll pull it up because I'm low key. I'm excited for it to get finished. Super dope spot. It was in what's that? It's off. It was off Crenshaw too, in the hood. But it was fire though. But if y'all want to see that, I'll pull it up so y'all can see it. It's pretty dope. All right, where we at? I'm way up here. Snaps. All right, let me catch up. Taurus says flats, oversized, overhang. Got you. Gio says I'm not a sucker like y'all. That's all. All right. Okay, you feel me? I guess I'm a sucker then. Call me, you feel me? What are some one suckers I like? I don't know. I guess so, right? Me being a homeowner, you feel me? Promotions. I'm getting more paid than I think I've ever gotten paid in my career of anything, except when it comes to entertainment. That pays different, but I guess so, right? No. Smarts, man. You gotta have the smarts, bro. It's not about like even let me go. Okay. Y'all brainwashed by the Amazon Kool-Aid. Okay, foods, overhangs, overstuff, flat items you need to be put in right. Okay, you're corporate and you don't know food violations. Crazy to hear. Nah, because I don't deal with pods. I don't deal with pods and what are they called? The people who walk through the things. I forgot. But I don't deal with that. Like we don't have to learn all that stuff. But yeah, let's see. Food means no flat items, no overhangs, or no pods, other stuff. Nice, nice. Rivera, what up, fam? Good to see you. Good to see you. Gio Saul says, Gio, I'm probably younger than you. It's not your fault. You made the wrong choices in life and stuck at Amazon. No, he and this is the thing though. He has potential. Like I guess he's an artist. I want to hear some of his music. Do you have a song we can play? Gio, you a rapper, Gio. Do you have a song? I'll go to your channel and play it right now. Do you have a song? Fam, please tell me you got a song. You don't need to be quitting no job if you ain't got no song on your page right now. Do you have a song, Gio? I'm gonna call Uncle Jeff. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, this rapper trying to quit and he ain't got Uncle Jeff. Does he have a song yet? He ain't got a song yet. He ain't quitting until he get a song. Oh no, I'm clowning. All right. No, but he said his dream is to be a rapper, but he's supposed to go to the B League for basketball or something, the G League. I forgot the league, but no, he has potential. Shout out to him. Boo is for Stowe as well. Nice, nice. That's what's up. I wish you well. Right, he's gonna do well. I'm pretty sure he will. I might file a lawsuit against my location. They be leaving me in the trailers by myself, loading boxes with no coworkers. That's against Amazon policies, and I have no video. Oh, you have it on video on your phone. I dislike Amazon. My managers and locations and coworkers. I don't want to speak and work with them. I don't talk to them. They say my name all the time. I'm just there for the money. Forget them. Man, I feel you, fam. Hopefully it all gets better, my dude. Or hopefully you find another job that's better. D says, "What's going on, your boy? Yes, hey, what's good? What's good? How you feeling over there, fam? Hopefully you well. Hopefully you well." Double Down says, "Why do I feel like I'm reading the VOA reading chat?" Hey, have not the VOA boards been like low key? They've been sounding like that. I'll be looking at it from my site. It does seem like a whole lot more complaining than it used to be back in the day, for sure. Understandably though, like cost of living is through the roof. You know what I mean? Like for sure, I see the reason, but that's hilarious. It does seem like that. Shout out to Double Down. Oh, that's good. All right. Rondo says, be the people's champ. If you want to move up, even when something upsets you, you have to show empathy and understand every day is day one. Facts. It's all mental, man. That's what people don't get. People want to see. This is the thing. Here's the thing. Here it is. Here it is. People want to be a champ, but they're not a champ. They want to be a champ because it looks cool. They see him raise the championship belt up and the crowd goes crazy. But they don't know what the champion did. He didn't become a champion in the ring. That's the thing. They think he became a champion when he raised up the title. Ooh, I want to do that. I want to be a champion. That ain't when he became a champion. He was a champion when he was running every day at 4 a.m. When he hit his hard road and he got knocked down and he got back up each time after time after time. A mindset of, he was a champion before the title was raised up. Ali was a champion before he won his first title. He was a champion. Jordan was a champion before he won his first championship. The championship just confirmed it. You feel me? So that's the thing. People see the end goal. They see Z, but they don't want to go through A to Y to get to the Z. People want to be a champion, but they're not a champion. They're not a champion mindset. They're not though, them pancakes look good. And you can always tell who's going to be a champion before they get there because they are a champion before they get there. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing in the workplace too. I already knew. It's funny. One of the sites I work for, one of the dudes who's now a senior over there was somebody I trained. Was somebody I pointed out and said, "Yo, that's that dude right there." You feel me? Why? Because I seen it in him. Like he got it. People are champions before they raise that title. So it ain't you don't become no champion when you raise the title. You got to put that work in, man. But it's all mentality, though, man. People just today's time, the mentality is it's just not it. But what can you do? But no, this is some good stuff though. Be the champion if you want to move up. Even when it upsets you, you have to show empathy and understand that every day is day one. That's a fact. That's a fact. Sticker Man says, why is Amazon not hiring internally now or internal now? It's crazy, or they're losing money in the warehouse. Why do you say that? I've been seeing a lot of positions open on my eternal. And I still sometimes check LGB3. That was my home building that I started off with back in the day. I always check different buildings just to see what it's looking like. I've seen them open. That doesn't mean they're hiring from there, of course, but they should. Because low key, I mean, I don't know for a fact, and I wouldn't say I knew for a fact, even if I did, even if managers have told me this and seniors and ops have told me this, I wouldn't say I know for sure. But you know what I mean? I think they may have like quotas of how many internal hires, how many external hires, so on and so forth. So that's crazy. If you're like at a site and you're not seeing anybody internally getting hired, that's pretty deep. All right. D says, Sticker Man, Sticker says, man, because it costs less to hire outside than to pay for someone internal. I might be wrong, but monetarily, it's the most cost effective. That sounds like that makes sense as well. Saul says, yeah, I work at Target Distribution Center and I quit too, even though they pay more. See, but see, you quit. You feel me? You quit even though it pay more because you didn't like it there, right? Or whatever the reason was. But that's just annoying sometimes when people will not quit. But it's like, okay, if you don't quit, cool. But don't complain about it all day. You know what I mean? If you need to vent, I'm here for it. I'm here. You feel me? I'm always down to lend the ear if somebody needs it. But not forever. You feel me? You got to bust a move. You got to do something, fam. You can't I'm not going to just listen to you complain for the rest of my life here, or however long I'm here. Listen, you got to go or you got to do something. Because that's crazy. I've seen that, and not just at this company. It's so crazy at companies. People will literally say they hate their job and oh, I hate this place, theatrics and everything, and go clock in every day and won't be late. Like, man, that's different. There's underlying issues here. You feel me? There's underlying issues at play here. Oh man. Or it could be the more rarity where it's like they can't quit because of their situation financially or something. You know what I mean? But even then, when there's people that I've come across that hate their job, but they can't quit because of their finances, they will at least look for another job until they find one, then quit the job they hate. But everybody's different. All right. Believe says my building has an intern operations manager, which is cool, but that's a high position for an intern. It's going to be hard because the ops doesn't speak to anyone. Right. I have started to see more intern positions, which that wasn't even in existence back in the day. But hey, that's what's up. You feel me? That's what's up. That makes sense. You know what I mean? So you can get kind of that on the job training with the person in that role. That makes sense before you just hop in and take over the role. So it makes sense, but yeah, it is interesting to see that role like that. Rivera says, I've only been at Amazon 1 year and a half, 6 months stowing and 1 year as a PG. I'm already on like my 6th or 7th manager now. Every time we start getting cool, I get a new manager. Same. I just got a new manager myself. Literally, like last week, I got a new manager. Same, fam. I feel you. So I'm like on my 20-something manager, So that does suck, especially if you're trying to move up. That's that sucks for sure. Sticker Man says, SB, slavery is not in your bloodline. Slavery is not your bloodline. It's what you make of your future. It is in my bloodline. That is in my bloodline. I'm a Black American slash American Negro. That's not a bad word. That term came. they they changed that for a reason. You can't even really talk about it without them trying to block that off your video and off the internet. But no, that's definitely from my bloodline. Slavery slash because that is not just slavery to me. To me, prisoners of war is what that was. Ain't that funny? Names and titles that things are given are powerful to the perception, the mind. They're prisoners of war. You feel me? It wasn't just slaves, it was prisoners of war. And that was in my bloodline, for sure. But that doesn't determine my future. Of course not. I never said that. But I'm just not going to let anybody say compare Amazon to slavery. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're not going to do. Because no, my people did go through that. That's a fact. It was atrocious. It was demonic, actually, is what it was. And that did happen. That's in my bloodline. But this is the thing, too. This is the funny thing. They start that off with education. They start my people's history with that. That ain't where it started. Why is that? Sir, I used to be in class like, there's nothing before that. Yo, the more you know, the more you know. Oh my goodness. Anyways, you did not grow up in slavery. You had a choice to become something important, and you did Amazon. Slavery is a cry of the weak. Okay, tell that to the Jews. I want to hear you use that same logic. Go say that to a Jewish person. Go say that to them. Dare you? Dare you to say that to them? No, we don't forget history. And those words of cry and victim. No, no, we can acknowledge because it's truth. And there's an importance of not letting history repeat itself. You don't forget history because if you do, there's a possibility it could repeat itself. Um, so what you say? You didn't grow up in it. You had a choice to become something. Yeah, I didn't grow up in it, but my ancestors did. My forefathers did. I'm supposed to forget about that? The atrocities that they went through? Absolutely not. Negative. They went through slavery. They were prisoners of war, is what they were. Would you forget that? Nah. You go tell the Jews to do that. We not nah. And watch, they'll answer you the same way. They'll be like, you might get jailed nowadays for saying something like that to them. Being honest. So nah, ain't no. And slavery is a cry of the weak. You go okay, like I said, go say that to them people because they still get what is it called? They still get money for that. What's that word called? They still get I forgot. America pays whatever it's called to them, and America wasn't even the one who did the atrocities to them. So here's what I want you to do. And Sticker Man, we cool, but you let me saying something silly like this, please get a video and you go tell one of them that. They have their communities. Go tell one of them that, please, and get it on camera. I would love to see their response. Slavery is a cry of the weak. No, that's a truth of this nation. That's the truth of this nation that that's not going to be forgotten about. Saul says, I don't think SB is playing. Nah, absolutely not. If that was the case, I would have said that stopped me, or you know what I mean. But the thing is, here's the truth though. People don't like that part of history. You know what I mean? They don't like that part. Okay, that ain't my fault. It shouldn't have never happened. You feel me? But the facts are the facts. That happened. You know what I mean? And yet, and even with that happening, I'm still gonna excel. You know what I mean? But what's not gonna go down is, oh, don't talk about, don't cry. What? That's history from my bloodline. You feel me? What the heck? Scruffy says, I've been on Amazon almost 4 years now. It's definitely a journey once you move out of a warehouse and now working for a corporate too. Right. Facts. Definitely. Once you get both sides, I'm not gonna lie, I think the warehouse is better. But shout out to both sides. Shout out to both sides. But it's definitely two different worlds for sure. Two different worlds. I think the corporate, you got to be careful because the stress that you put on your body in the warehouse is on your, in my opinion, depending on the position you get, depending on how they like you or if they don't like you on corporate, that stress can be put on the mind on the corporate side, in my opinion. But shout out to that Scruffy. Shout out to Scruffy. You feel me? Shout out to Scruffy. Callie says two-time felon. Shout out to Callie Bones. You feel me? Shout out to Callie. Two-time felon. Started with Amazon in 2020. PA now and on my way to L4. Lazy is what makes you a slave. no, no job. No, lazy will make you lazy. You feel me? A slave? No. Slaves didn't have an option. But I feel where you're coming from. Shout out to Cali Bones and two-time felon and being able to get into a company where you can, move up. That's official. That's dope. But here's the thing too. I don't know if this is the case for Cali Bones, but it's like, okay, now you have at least a base where you can grow as he's growing, and then you can have, that income to try to start something else on the outside as well. Nobody ever said this was a dream job, you know what I mean? But the potential, I think it's potential to capitalize more so than most other jobs, especially at an entry level. But to each his own, you feel me? To each his own. And shout out to Cali Bones, man. All right, Double Down says 65 to 79%. Rivera says Amazon is the easiest job I've had in my life. And he's saying this at 36. And I definitely agree, but I also see the other side. There's some people, this is not their industry. Like a corporate person may not think that. Somebody who's in the delivery field may not think that, but people who are, I can definitely, I understand this, you know what I mean? I understand that. There's way more difficult jobs. Some fast food restaurants is more difficult than Amazon. Facts. You feel me? I worked a fast food. My first job was Arby's at 15 and a half. I had a worker's permit and I worked at Arby's. And then my other fast food place, it wasn't fast food. I worked at Starbucks when I was I think I was a senior in high school or something like that. Them jobs is worse than Amazon because you got to deal with these customers' orders, and then you be going like that. You're dealing with fry machines. You got to wash these dirty dishes. I'd rather stow than wash dirty dishes. You feel me? But that's just me. That's just me, though. Shout out to Rivera. All right. Saul says, that's what's up, Kelly Bones. Rivera says, no matter what you do, all we do is put things in totes and take things out of totes. Right. Sometimes them totes be heavy, though, because sometimes you pushing totes. I did that, you know what I mean, on an overtime day. I wanted to because I was like, man, let me get a workout today. They was like, man, anybody want to push totes? Give me that. And then, you know what I mean? I did it for a workout. I enjoyed it, but I did feel that for like the next 4 days, though. But you're right. We're not really doing much. You know what I mean? It's just the thing. It could be repetitive. It could be, here's the thing, because I got injured. And I got injured lifting something that weighed the same amount as this. And the reason why is it was strenuous. It was a whole pallet of protein packets. It wasn't even big, but it was so strenuous. I injured myself, you know what I mean? Which was crazy, but yeah, we're really not doing much. You know what I mean? Double Down says 65 to 70% of promotions are internal. That sounds about right to me. From my experience, that sounds like my experience as well. Amazon has deals with state, cities, etc., for tax breaks to hire a certain amount of college grads, veterans, and offer internships, etc. There you go. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's what's up. Gio says, don't play the sucker card. It's only $20 an hour. But you know what? Maybe you commented that after my rant earlier. That $20 an hour is that means a lot for some people. You know, when I started off and I didn't even start off at 20, but it meant everything to me. You feel me? And it helped me get into position to be above 20 now. You know what I mean? So to each his own, to each his own. But hold on. You came back to the company. You feel me? Why did you come back, my guy? Why did you come back, Gio? Why are you still there, Gio? All right. Saul says, I've been locked up too, and I met a lot of felons here too, but you can barely notice it because their mentality is different. Right, right. Great point. Believe says Amazon's not slavery. I can leave at any time. Even as a PA, I'd be taking VTO as a PA to come in late. Facts. Factuals. Double Down says all the people who complain consistently, I just nod and say, see you tomorrow. That's the coldest flex ever, because that's what happens. And that's what I was saying earlier. People will complain they heart out just to clock in the next day on time. But that's the coldest thing I've heard right there. Yeah, man, I know. Man, it's crazy. See you tomorrow. And walk off. Yo, I would be hot if I was an employee. Oh man, but not me, because I've never complained about that. You feel me? People are just different, but that right there, that's cold. That's cold. That's cold. Double Down. Because here's why it's so cold. Because it's true. You know what I mean? Man. My. Let me see. Let me make sure this thing is on quick. Hey, if y'all tuned in and you ain't hit that like button yet, hit that like button real quick. I gotta cut this button on. If you ain't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. View your channel, manage videos. My bad, you guys. Hold on real quick. I know I'm behind on those comments too. I just gotta flip this button on real quick. Off, on. Cool. So if y'all ain't hit that like button, hit that like button. Show more. All right, cool. All right, I'm back, y'all. All right, Rivera says, Gio, trust me, even though it may get stressful, stay there. Use them for a trade in school. All you have to do is be there 2 years, doing as good as you're doing. Then you can become operations and get salary. My OM and GM made me put in for my L4 application yesterday, 6 months. See, yeah, when you say who, yo, OM and GM, that's a good look. But it's not for everybody. It ain't for everybody. I understand where Gio's coming from. I understand where he's coming from, and it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? But that's dope though, Rivera. Sean, what up, my guy? Sean in the building. What up? What up? What's good with you? Rondo says, I'm an 1850 seasonal. I'm an LA learning ambassador. I found out the shift that seen my work ethic for what it is. I smile and everyone smiles as being the people's champion. You get what you put into it. Facts. Facts. Good stuff, Rondo. Believe says, and you can use personal leave of absence. That's a great point. Good. That's a good point. I never even thought about that. I don't do that. I don't do that type of stuff. But great. That's an amazing point. If you're at that breaking point, instead of just quitting, especially in the job market that we're in, put in would you say personal leave of absence, and during that time, look for another job. So if you land something, boom, you locked in. Bet you ain't even got. But if you don't, you can buy a few more weeks, come back, put up with the nonsense if you're able to. So at least you're not just out in the ocean with the sharks. You feel me? Getting bit up, bills chewing on your ankles. You feel me? Every week, and not having no income coming in. So believe, good stuff, real good stuff. That's a good idea right there. Rondo says, I'll be a PA before that, or before the LA for the learning ambassador. that's been there for 2 years because of how I talk. I'm telling you, that's what's up. It's possible, you know, it's possible, but you come to learn it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? It's not for everybody. But for those who want it, it's possible. And shout out to Rondo. You feel me? Shout out to Rondo. Keep that positive mindset. You know what I mean? All right, let me go through these comments because I got to catch up. I'm still behind. Gio says, y'all Amazon servants. You crazy. You crazy, boy. You crazy, boy. My dude said Amazon servants, yo. That has to be, is that the funniest thing I've heard this week? That has to be the funniest thing I've heard. No, there was a real, it was a tagger who tagged Smiley on a police car and it showed that, and then it showed the person getting arrested had a serious face, and then they smiled. That was a little more funnier than this. You had to be there to get it. You had to see it. So it wasn't the funniest thing I heard this week, but it was close. Amazon servants, hilarious. You're finna be a servant for somebody. First of all, I'm a servant for the Lord, my guy. You feel me? But an employee, you feel me? Everybody gonna have to work somewhere. Geo, hold up. You still work there. So you're the ultimate servant. If we're all servants, you're the ultimate servant. Because you don't even want to be there and you're still serving. Oh man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's fun. That's funny. All right, all right, all right. Come on. No more, Gio. No more, fam. No more. No more. Rivera says, I'm even skipping PA and going to area manager. Best way to do it is to be a good water spider. Get cool with all the PAs and AMs, OMs. You will move up so quick. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, if it works, you know what I mean? If it works, it works. That's what's up. Shout out to Rivera. You want me going from water spider to AM? I've never seen that. Just being honest, I've never seen nobody go from water spider to AM. That's a rarity. You know what I mean? Because I've seen a lot of people transition, and I've never seen that one time. I've seen water spiders go from water spider to PA. You know what I mean? And pallet runner to PA. But I've never seen a water spider to an AM. Because you learn so much. You're missing out on the key ingredient, which is engagement. Yeah, you engage as a water spider, but the engagement is different when you got to coach somebody who's not doing well. You know what I mean? But you do get great engagement, or you can possibly if you're a sociable person as a water spider. Not saying it's not possible, but I would, let's say if I continue to climb the ladder, I got into an OM, I would never me, if I was an OM, I would never put a water spider and put them into an AM position. I wouldn't, but that's me. You know what I mean? Because I think it's just so much that you can see from a person by them doing those other things first. Like, imagine some water spiders going from water spider to an AM. The vest ego alone would destroy most of them. Most water spiders that I have encountered, if they went from water spider to AM, they finna fire they gonna fire the AMs next. They think they gonna run the building. That vest ego, that type of exaltation, most people in life can't handle that. You know what I mean? It's steps, but that's just me. That's just me. So if you can do that, who is that? Rivera, if you go from water spider to AM, please let us know. I'm gonna have to make a video just for you. I'm gonna make a regular video just to shout you out because I've never seen that. Mark my words and remind me. Everybody remind me of, hold on, let's go back to this comment. If Rivera does this, I have to make a video, a vlog just for Rivera. For the 0.1% of Amazon that I've seen do something great like that. Shout out to my dude Rivera. If you do that, fam, hit me up. Because yeah, you got to go down on the SB history books. You put me for Amazon for sure. Oh, that's what's up. All right, Life of Sin says, in this economy where many are losing jobs, I feel blessed to earn extra income working Amazon Flex. Right, that's what's up. I would agree because I'm seeing more and more videos of people out there who cannot get a job right now. So gratefulness and gratitude. You know what I mean? That's always, you can't go wrong with that. Shout out to Sin. Saul says water spider to AM is crazy. See, I didn't even, he says you got to be level 100 Riz. You feel me? Aura maxed out. You feel me? You got to have max level aura. Right? Because I didn't even see this comment right here, but I have not only have I have not seen that, I've never heard of nothing like that. So I'm gonna have to make a plaque for you. I'm gonna have to make something for you if you do that. And I'm gonna have to send it to you. You feel me? Because you'll be one of you feel me? Hey, if he does that, we're gonna celebrate. He gets his own video on my channel if he does that for sure. Cause yeah, you got to be level 100. That's a fact, Saul. That's a fact. Scruffy says, opportunities are out there in Amazon. You just have to look for it if you want it. Took me over 50 applications to move up. Woo. But what happened? It took him 50. Did he quit at 10? No. Did he quit at 20? No. Did he quit at 49? He could have. Did he? No. He said 50 of them. But he moved up. But he kept going. And he's grateful with the team that he's at now. Shout out to my dude Scruffy. That is the mindset that I love right there. That's what I'm talking about. That sounds like a champion to me. That sounds like greatness to me. That sounds like somebody who's gonna make it. You feel me? To me. Shout out to Scruffy. The name is, I love the name. Hey, you feel me? Shout out to Rondo. Hey, good looking, my guy. Rondo said, good luck, everyone. Congrats on 100th EP. Appreciate that, fam. Shout out to Rondo for the $10 super chat. Let's go. Definitely appreciate it. That means a lot, especially during these times. You know, I know how it is with everybody, so definitely appreciate it for that. Appreciate you, fam. Definitely a blessing, my dude. Thank you. Okay. Thank you much, Rondo. Appreciate you, fam. Rivera says, I don't know. I love my job. Every time I walk into SYR1, I feel like LeBron James walking in. Don't it feel like that? when you an all-star and you be killing it, it low-key feels like that, fam. I know what you feel. That's why I'm smiling, because I know the feeling. I couldn't stop smiling right now if I wanted to. That's why I still got my vest. All of them. I got my learning ambassador vest, I got my PA vest, and my leadership vest. And it wasn't even an L4, but they gave me the vest because I was LeBron out there. Oh, I don't like LeBron. I was Jordan out there. I know how you feel. And it's true. It's a real feeling. When you out there killing it and then you show up, people stop. Hey, what up? You feel me? Shout out to Rivera. I know the feeling, my guy. I know the feeling. Gio says, I have none of that. Shout out to Gio. You're going to be good, Gio. Saul says, drop your ego or if you're Gio, I'll check you out. Oh, okay. We're talking about the songs. Wow. I need to catch one of these comments. You don't have a song yet? Fam, I don't think all right. Okay. Well, hopefully, you know what I mean, the next job will help you get your studio or studio time to pay for that, fam. He says, if you do Geo drop it, I'll check you out. I want to drop it too. I mean, I was gonna play a song on here. I thought you had a song. You can do better, SB. I believe in you. I'm doing great. And I believe I can do better as well. But like I'm telling you, I couldn't have shot my video last week. I couldn't have, what was that? I couldn't have shot my video last week. I couldn't have got none of my shirts made up, none of my hats made up. Wouldn't have had the gas. Couldn't have done none of that. You know what I mean? unless I had the extra finances I had from working overtime on this company. So you said I can do better. I know, and I am. I'm actually doing great, honestly. But I'm gonna do better. You know, and this company, I'm a fund all my stuff through using this company and other ways as well. But now, how are you going to do it? How are you going to pay for your music video? How are you going to pay for your songs? Well, I know, my bad. We can't even talk about the music video yet. How are you going to pay for your first song? How are you going to pay for the beat for their first song? And then how are you going to pay for the studio time? You know what I mean? Instead of that's what I'm saying. Instead of all the complaining, forget it, ambassador vest. You should have been working overtime. You could have booked a session every week since you've been back. You could have had a whole mix. You could have had a whole album done by now. And you know what I mean? But I believe in you too, Gio. It got to change in the mindset though. But you got the. I think you got the drive. I hope. You know what I mean? Because you know. But I know you can get there. You can get there, man. But yeah. Can I? You said SB. You can do better, SB. I believe in you. That's a fact. I'm not prideful. I'm not there. It's funny when I first got the house, right? I'm first off, I'm sitting in two dreams right now. This ain't just a house. This was a dream for me to be a homeowner. I dreamed of that. You feel me? I'm in a studio right now. My studio in my house. This was another dream. I wake up in my dream that I used to have back then every single day. And guess what happened? It was funny. Like, I think it was like the first week after I got the house. No, it was after that. But I was like, I already was ready for the next thing. I didn't stop. You know what I mean? Like, all right, cool. I'ma just chill. No. You feel me? Nah. So yeah, I can do better. I'm doing great right now. And I can, but I can do better for sure. So I don't take that as criticism. You're right. I can. But here's the thing. I will. I am. Like, let me see if I can log in. And here, I'm gonna give you this website, Geo, because this is something you need to use once you record a song, once you pay for the beat, once you pay for the studio session, and once you pay for your song to get recorded and you ready to do a video. I'm gonna give you this website. It's like where you can book locations and all that stuff for your video. Of course, you can just go outside and do a video, but I've done so many of those. Like, I wanted to do like a start going into professional locations and all that stuff. I'm gonna see. Let me see. Sign login. How do I log into this thing? Log in through my Google. The account's not on this one. What's the code? Hopefully this is it. I have so many passcodes. I don't know my code. Crap. All right. Anyways, yeah, no, I can do better. I'm gonna continue to do better, but I think I appreciate that. All right. Reverse says you don't need the ambassador vest for anything. You can skip past that for sure. You don't need the ambassador, but I think it wouldn't hurt you. But even if you skip past that, I would think you would need the PG or PA position. Like I said, if I was an ops, nobody's jumping from water spider to a leadership vest. That's not going to happen. You feel me? Forget the skills. You feel me? Like, you're not under any pressure as a water spider. Yeah, floors running low on work and all that stuff. That's a low level pressure. It felt like a lot. It felt like everything because I was a water spider. I've been there, so I'm not down in it. But there was times where that pressure as a water spider felt like the world until I was a PA and there was no work on the floor, no work coming. That level, and then I got 2 classes coming in that need walls, but all the walls are full. People need to be coded. All slam lines are down, walls piling up. And I have this associate here trying to tell me their plans for the weekend. That was a new level. I thought that water spider level of stress was something. That was a whole nother level of stress. Now, why do I say that? Because then how am I going to operate under that type of pressure? Because that's the type of pressure you're going to be under as an AM. Like, people, we just see the AMs. They're like they be playing. I thought they was playing video games. When I first came to Amazon, I'm like, what do they do? They just walking around playing on their laptops, walking around in circles all day, smiling and laughing. Out for real, like, yo, what do these people do? They got a lot on their plate that they got to deal with, though, pressure-wise. But, the person who can handle pressure as a water spider is going to be way different when they're under that pressure as a manager. under certain situations. And listen, I know managers who broke into pieces, tears, because they couldn't handle it. You know what I mean? So me as an OM, you think I'm finna put a water spider in this position? Absolutely not, sir. You better climb, you better prove, you feel me? Because it's not even just about the knowledge. Can you show up every day? You feel me? Can you show up every day? But that's just me. But it ain't just me because I've never seen that happen. So, like I'm saying, let us know if that happens because you will get your own video on this channel. It's gonna be like celebrating Rivera. You feel me? Rivera's number one. We're gonna give you the trophy, fam, for sure. Sticker Man says, I'm a spider and love sitting the pallet Jackson. Shout out to Sticker Man. Hilarious. Don't injure yourself, man. He says, I love riding the pallet Jackson, rapping with earbuds in. Yeah, you ain't gonna like it if you get caught, though. Hopefully you don't get caught, fam. Be safe, my dude. Be safe, fam. Marcel says, hey, I couldn't wait for your video live. Shout out to you, Marcel. That's what's up. That's what's up. Appreciate you, my dude. Appreciate you. Saul says, that's a no-no. Right. Yeah, it's a no-no for sure. Gio, I thought you were a girl. Nah, I know. I probably should have clarified that so people didn't think I was talking to a female like that. No, yeah, he's a dude. He said that he changed his profile picture to her. He said that was his crush. Shout out to Gio. He says, I have a SoundCloud. Okay, that's what's up. But do you have those songs in your sound? You can type my name in on any platform. Songs are going to come up. iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon. You can, with some things, I don't know. My stuff is going to pop up. You know what I mean? So that's good. That's good. You have a SoundCloud. You got songs. Hey, that's something. That's what's up. But what did you just tell me? You said, you can do better, SB. I believe in you. Like, come on, look at the hypocrisy of that, though. Like, that's good. Now keep going. Now let's get your song recorded and let's put it on iTunes and all the streaming networks so we can actually stream your music right now. You know what I mean? And then to shoot a video to it. Like, come on, you got this, fam. But see, be careful with the judgment you put on others. You know that I'm sure you said, I don't know if you said you was a believer. I think you did. But don't point out the speck in your brother's eye when you got a plank in your own eye, Shout out to SoundCloud though. I don't even have a sound. I got like 4 SoundClouds, but I can't even log in if I wanted to because I don't remember them password no more. I don't even know people still use SoundCloud. I don't even think I can log into mine. All right, Sticker Man says, I don't need to care about Foo to move up as ops or senior. Crazy as stowers and pickers really care or they get a write-up for bin collisions, multiple events. Gio says, are you quitting on Sunday? That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Good stuff. If that's what, if you like it, I love it. You feel me? If you like it, I love it. Marcel says, do you work at corporate? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Not the main corporate building, but like a corporate arm out here in Arizona. But yeah, we're in a corporate office, computers, AC all day. That's the only thing that's sweet about it. We used to have a hybrid schedule. They snatched that, but I appreciate it. I still appreciate the job. You know what I mean? But I can't lie. I'm at that point where I would rather be back in the warehouse. But it is what it is. But yeah, I'm still at corporate at the moment. Saul says, I know PAs that don't even know how to stow. They learn after they became PAs. Facts. That's what I'm saying. That's not uncommon. That's still, that's more on the rare side. But I've never seen that jump from skipping over everything going into an AM. What about baseball this year? Tigers will win the championship. I couldn't tell you. I know like 3 baseball teams. Dodgers, New York. No, what are they called? Oh, Yankees. The New York Yankees. Seattle Mariners, because one, I think Ken Griffey used to play on. I used to play as him as a kid on there. Mark McGuire. He's retired, you feel me? But I don't know. I didn't even know it was the championship for basketball. Who told me we was in Cali? Oh, on the way to the day before my video shoot, we had a family reunion. My uncle was going to go to the video shoot. And then he was like, wait. Oh, no, somebody else, one of our other family members at the family reunion was like, oh, game 7 is tomorrow. So then he ended up going, but I didn't even know the championship was going on. You feel me? So that's how I'm disconnected. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When it comes to sports, I couldn't, and then sports is different nowadays. It ain't what it used to be, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Shout out to everybody who loves their sports. Nothing wrong with that. Do your thing, but I'm not gonna lie, I'd be disconnected, fam. So baseball this year, I couldn't tell you. Who am I going for? I'll probably go for the what's the team in Arizona? I don't know the team. I got a hat. The Arizona Diamondbacks? No. I'm going for Arizona. Whoever Arizona is. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not going for nobody. But shout out to baseball though. Who you going for, Sticker man? New York. I'll go for the Yankees just because I like the logo and I like New York. All right. I push people for leaders. I push people for leaders regardless. That's what's up. That's what's up. Gio says Jeff Bezos is y'all master leader and boss. No, sir, not mine. He's my employee or he's my employer for sure. All them other words, I don't know about all that. You work for him too, though, fam. Like you're employed by this guy right now. Sticker Man says I'm GRR1. No hiring right now. How? All right, we had 2 hours. Man, that went by quick. All right, I'm GRR1. No hiring right now. Internal. I was told that from GRR1. That's what's up. That's what's up. How far are we? All right, yeah, I'm kind of going through these so I can catch up, y'all. SYR1 has only been hiring seasonal workers for like the last 5 months. Yeesh. That's deep. Well, hopefully, that changes. Hopefully, especially we're kind of close to peak now, right? Where are we at? We're in June. We're almost in July. Am I tripping? We almost in July. Yo, time is flying. We almost in July, so hopefully that picks up. Uh-oh, what did I just do? Did I close it out? No, I just opened up another tab. China reacts to massive. What is it? I'll go back. China reacts to massive NATO warning. All right. Verizon negative. There's 2 kinds of people in this world. Pimps. Oh, come on, Gio. All right. You feel me? All right. You feel me? If that's all right. You feel me? All right. That's deep. That's deep. All right. Saul says, bro won't even drop his SoundCloud. Stuck loading trailer. Man. Listen. Sticker Man says, don't get me wrong. I love Amazon, but management and HR and safety cannot say something to employees. I say some every time. I say stop sitting on totes. You're going to get fired. That's deep. Gio says, my mind is on my crush on this picture. That's what's up. Peter, what up, Peter? What's good, fam? How you doing? Me, I'm blessed, man. I'm doing good, doing great, grateful. Doing good. Appreciate you, Peter. How you feeling over there? I hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Double Down says, I can picture this guy taking selfie video. Oh, man. I'm not even going to read all that. Crime. Man. Sticker Man said he's on his 12th manager. I'm almost on 3 times of that. Sad to say, but that's the reality of the company. They get rotated pretty frequently. It seems like every 6 months in my experience, sometimes sooner. But yeah, that could happen for sure. Gio says he hates that job. Marcel says most of our AMs have left our warehouse. That's deep, man. Somebody else said that earlier. And they said not just their AMs, some of their OMs too. So that's deep to see that. Sticker says, I, as a white person, also slavery too. I'm German, but I'm not them. Well, you're white, but this whole white and black thing that's not even correct. You feel me? It's like ethnicity. Okay, you're white. That's what's up. Are you German? Are you know what I mean? Like even with black people, it ain't just black people. You got Africans, you got Nigerians, you have Caribbeans, you have Haitians. My people, we are, I know it sounds weird because they kind of like tarnished the term, but we are the Negro people. And why is it called that? Even though we're not called that, there was a place called Negro land. They took it off the map. It's right where the slave trade was. But Yeah, we're all different. You know what I mean? So it ain't just white, black. You know what I mean? So you said, okay, you're saying you're German, but you're not them. That's what's up. You know what I mean? When did that happen? I'm not aware on your guys' history. I'm aware of my history and my people. So I don't know how long ago that was, but I know, you know, my grandma went through stuff, and in her time, they was still telling people you can't drink over there if you black. If you're a Negro, you can't even drink out of this. That was grandma, my guy. That ain't too far away. You feel me? Like, what is that even? Where is this even coming up from? My dog's over there. All right. Saul says, Gio, do you even know how to drive the forklift? I know how to make money and make. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Saul says, if not, congratulations. The only skill you've learned operating the pallet jack. Dang, SG knows about the juice. The juice? What juice? What am I? My bad. I'm still catching up. What did I say about juice? I don't know what I said about juice. My fault, y'all. Rondo says we do this for 50 years and then we die. The old man picking across from me said today. Shout out to the old man picking. You feel me? Hopefully he does more in life than just that. You know what I mean? Because if so, that is kind of sad, man. That sucks. That is kind of sad. I can't even lie. All right, Sticker Man says slavery is old school. Move forward in the promised land. Must have struck a nerve, huh? It ain't that old, fam. As I was just saying, I can go back just a couple generations in my bloodline, and they was already dealing with hardships, and not just slavery, city after town that was flooded for the color of their skin after slavery. That's the part they left out. Times, what's that? So many parks, so many airports, so many freeways destroyed black neighborhoods due to that very reason, just because they was black. Yeah, it's sad, but but that wasn't long ago. You feel me? I'm not talking something that happened. The atrocities still go on to this day. There's still one of the banks just came out with a letter talking about they apologize for discriminating for people getting home loans, as if that's not important. You feel me? Like, man. Okay, anyway, we saying life answers. Oh, my ancestors do not care about the old school way of life as we can move forward with white and Indians nowadays. That's what's up. All right. Peter says United States build in blood. Right. People don't understand that. But here's the thing, Peter. People don't want to hear it. You feel me? They don't, it's the thing is they don't want to hear it, which is cool because you feel me? Like this, yeah, it is what it is what it is. But nah, that's what's up, Peter. That's what's up. Robert says, been in Amazon for 1 year, just waiting for that conversion. Hopefully that comes soon, Robert. Hopefully that comes soon, my guy. Just keep doing your part. Don't go negative. You feel me? And just keep at least handling your job. And hopefully, you know what I mean? Hopefully it comes through. But all you can do is all that you can do. Don't stress. All right. Sticker Man says, SB, you said you didn't stow because you didn't know. You didn't know. No, you're wrong. I didn't say that. I was in Stowe. We didn't have something called foo. I said we had something called robots in Stowe. That's what I said. I didn't say, I don't know what you're talking. I didn't say that. Where's my damage landlady? Peter says I start off with 18. Right, right. I think I started off at 1550 or 16 or something like that. And that was in 2019 or 2019. But 18 and 2020, and that was good money back then compared to a lot of other entry level companies. You know what I mean? Positions, I would say. Sticker Man says HR told me you can clock out 3 minutes, 8 on a 12-hour shift, clocked out 3 minutes early. There you go. Marcel says when our warehouse first opened in 2021, our warehouse was so fun. We had 4 site leaders. That's what's up. Hey, ain't nothing like having a site where you're actually having a good time there. You have a good team there. That does make a difference. Shout out to Marcel. Secret Man says salary sucks. PA is the golden position. Stay there. Depends. For the most part, you know what I mean? You can get your overtime and all that, but salary, I believe once you get to that like ops manager is kind of when it's worth it more. So that was my goal. NJ Cheese, what up, bro? What's good? My guy, what's good? How you feeling? How you feeling? What do you say? First day is July 7th. Okay, it's coming quick. It's coming quick. It's coming quick. It's gonna come. It's gonna be here before you know it. Feel me? Get your exercise in now. You know what I mean? Better start warming the body up. But nah, that's what's up, man. Congrats on that, NJ. Rondo says, "Yo, how much would you do a showy a show for? Is that what you mean? Um, is that what you mean? I don't know what that is. What's a showy? I don't know what that is. You mean like a show? SHOW? Is that what you mean? Fill me in on that, Rondo. My bad." Gio said, That's what be doing when I'm not loading trucks and scanning boxes. Water sniper. That's what's up. That's what's up. Do a showy. I don't know what you mean, Rondo. I don't know what that word means. I've never seen it. Fill me in on what you mean by that, Rondo. I don't know if you're talking about a show. Let me know. Peter says, being good with leaders gets you a lot in Amazon. I stepped down from PA because I was way more than when I was getting paid. Shout out to Peter. You don't, that's more on the rare side in my experience with the company where you see somebody step down from a PA. Shout out to Peter. See, he said, you know what? This isn't worth what I am bringing to the table. He didn't just sit there and complain about it forever. He made a move. He said, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna step down because I know my worth. Salute. Feel me? Can't be mad at that. Shout out to Peter. Shout out to Peter. Gio says, I water sniper half my shift today. That's what's up. Water spider. That's what's up. Shout out to the water spiders. NJ says, you're training on Prime Week. That's deep. I thought training was like weeks, but like, you know what I mean? A few weeks before. I know they training on Prime Week now. That's deep. I have no clue what to expect. Just expect high paced, you know what I mean? But ask every question that you get. There ain't nothing to be nervous about. But you're gonna have your ambassadors, utilize them to the max. I needed to because I was not, you know what I mean? XOOs, like the XOOs, BOOs. Oh, if you scan the XOO, no, you scan the BOO. What? Hold up, got a question. What's this one again? What's this one again? I was asking all the questions. No shame, because I already knew once I got it down, I was finna be a beast. So utilize them. Utilize your ambassadors. Any question, do not let it go. Don't just let that go. Make sure you get an answer to every any question you may have. Because here's the thing, I had questions. There was people who didn't have questions and they got it. You know what I mean? So that would just be my thing. Utilize your ambassadors, which are basically your trainers, the ones who's going to be training you. Utilize them because they're not going to be there forever. But it ain't nothing crazy, fam. You're gonna look around and you're gonna see a lot of people who work there. Like, I can do this. You can do this. You can do this, my dude. You're gonna be good. Double Down says, crazy thing is Amazon offers career choice for life. Anyone can get their degree on at least practically or partially Amazon's dime and come in as an L4. That's what's up. That's what's up. Double Down be having all the knowledge. You feel me? Shout out to Double Down. Water Sticker Man says water spiders are lazy. 100 level up, do your job, and VRC 15 associates at a time. I retired to become learning ambassador and amnesty and problem solver. That's what's up. That's what's up. I don't think water spiders are lazy. I think there are some for sure. There's lazy people in every position for sure. Um, yeah, and there definitely could be some in the water spider position for sure. But sometimes, you know what I mean? They get put there because they're not lazy. Um, but that could be your experience where you've experienced a lot of lazy water spiders and you're in problem solver. So you're getting more boots to the ground eye view. So that sucks that you had to have that experience. I didn't see that. I had my thing is like when I was a PA, PG, and when I was water spidering, I would come across those indirects. They weren't lazy in my experience, but they would be so distracted by these females, you know what I mean? And trying to impress them over there, giving them all the good freight. They would be killing their job. Like they'll be doing it, like keeping everybody with work, but they would just be distracted. That's the only thing I've seen on my experience, but I haven't really seen too many lazy ones though. Gio says, I meant that's what I be doing a lot when I'm not loading trucks. I water spider 4 hours for sure. Yeah, well, you say you're finna quit on Sunday, so that's what's up. You know what I mean? Geo, laugh out loud. You got taught. Peyton. I don't know who that is. Peyton. Yeah, what's up, Peyton? What's good? What's good? L3 to L5. Are you meaning have I seen that or what? If that's what you're asking, I haven't seen an L3 go to an L5. I haven't seen that. If that's what you're asking, I've never heard of that either. Got hired as an L4. That's what's up. OMR. I'm not sure what that is, but coming in as an L4, beat me. you already, yeah, you already starting off better than I started off. I started off as a seasonal tier 1. So you coming in the game as an L4 OMR. I don't know what that is, but shout out to you, my guy. Shout out to you. Congrats. Good stuff. Good stuff. How to keep whip low, how to code and do TOT. That's what's up. That's what's up. Sticker Man says PG was eliminated. PG was eliminated from our facility, but I do it as a water spider. I'm driven and keep my floor clean and customers loaded with toast. That's what's up. See, I like Sticker Man, your work ethic. I like your work ethic. We're different on, on our opinions, but the work ethic, that's what's up. Going above and beyond over there is what it sounds like. That's what's up. Good stuff, Sticker Man. Saul says water spiders get to talk to the BBLs. Bro, I'm done. I'm done. They do. Always be in they station. Like, bruh, we all can see you, right? And they don't care. They're like, yeah, I'm here. They don't care. Water spiders are crazy. Some of them, not all of them. But the wild ones be wild. I'll just be like, yo, man, you wild. He said talking to all the BBLs, hilarious. All right, Gio says they ain't moving up a person of color, learning ambassador vests or not, I think, or not. It was because of your race, because you're black. I'm not discrediting you. Could that be possible? Absolutely. Does that happen? Sadly, it does. But you feel me? I've never really seen that gate kept. I've never seen the ambassador position being gate kept before. You know what I mean? I've always seen everybody be able to get into the ambassador vest. Like everybody, anybody and everybody, except maybe the guy that doesn't want to be there. I've more so have seen other positions be gate kept, but the ambassador, I've never seen that. Not saying it's not plausible, you know what I mean? But everybody's experience is their experience, but that's deep though. That's deep. I'm sure you can still get it though. You feel me? Like you can go to yourself to talk to learning, that's deep. Sticker Man says 2023, I got mine sweeper of the year. And water spider of the year. I love it. I just got Rick the Spider learning ambassador now, which is my nickname. That's what's up. Shout out to Rick the Spider. You feel me? That's what you should change your name right there. Rick the Spider. That's what's up. Saul over here rolling. Sticker Man said, I'm going to Detroit. Hey, you're going for Detroit. Shout out to the Tigers. Shout out. That's what's up. Peter says, I trained a new AM last week, even though I'm not a PA no longer. Yeah, like I said, I hate when that happens because it's like, yo, am I getting extra? Yeah, I'm getting paid for this, but at least though that shows your humility, you know what I mean? And you're still working with them, which is good. Just so you can, keep the tension at bay. You're still playing ball when you don't have to, man. That says a lot. That says a lot. So that's some good stuff right there, Peter. Good stuff, man. Rondo says your music sounds like it's going to wang in the car. Some of us got to work in the morning. Shout out to you, Rondo. Is that what I think you're saying you're going to sleep, right? Um, I think that's what you mean. If that's what you mean, then man, get you some sleep, Rondo. Get you some sleep, fam. Sticker man. So corporate doesn't care. Which says corporate doesn't care about safety violation nowadays. Where'd you get that? Where you said a few things that was not said. That was not said today. Sticker man. I'm sure there's a part of corporate that covers violations. That's not my department that I'm in. We don't we don't we don't watch over violations in my department. Is there a department that does that? Oh, I'm sure, maybe, but that wasn't said today. So I'm not sure where you got that from. I'm not sure where you got that from, Sticker Man. NJ says, any advice about working Prime Week for the first time? I forgot a lot of it. I got a vlog on it though. It was very informational. You should check that out. Okay. Go early. There you go. That's a good one. Go early. I might have to do a new video on that. Honestly, that's a good topic right there. Arrive early because parking could be a beast. And then if you get in there on time, you're gonna be parking way in the back, depending on your building. I'm not sure what type of building you went to. My building was a very packed building. So if I got there on time, I would be late because I had to park way in the back and run to the door. And if you low on UPT, which you're not gonna be because you're just starting, but you know what I mean? I would try to go there a little early because there's gonna be a lot of people there. That's you know what I mean? That's a high volume time. Also, I would say make sure you get your rest. Man, my nose always starts itching, y'all. My bad. Make sure you get some good rest. Make sure you, if possible, get some inserts for your shoes. That helps out a lot. Um, Water. Drink a lot of water. Um, I think those are the basic things. None of those really had anything to do with the job, but it has everything to do with the job. If you'll find out. But I did a vlog on that. If you type in or if you search through my page and then it says like something about Prime Day or what should you expect at Prime or peak, same thing because it's both high volume. But oh yeah, I did one for Prime, so go check that out. I'll get more into detail, but those are the basic things that affect everybody. You want to make sure, especially your mental. Your mental is everything when you're dealing with associates and you're dealing with people engaging a lot. You want your mental got to be on point, or it's best when it is. Make sure you get your sleep. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Make sure, if possible, get there early. And like I said, those inserts will help. Anybody else got any other good advice? Go ahead and drop it down for NJ. Sticker Man says, I love everyone, bro. It doesn't matter ethnicity. We are all equal. Sounds good. Yeah, that's how it should be, but it's not. That's not the case, though. Generally, statistically, it's being proven that that's not really the case. But for individuals who think like that, bravo. You feel me? That's what's up. And it's sad that we got to clap about that, but it's proven statistically it's not the case. But I'm glad that there's people out there who do think like that. So that's what's up. That's deep, bro. Saul says, if I was a slave, I would go back to my mother country after I was freed. I think that's what the cup was for. Okay, let me go back to your last comment because you had the dang SB knows. Yeah, I know about them. I know about them. Yeah, Saul. Yeah, I know. You got to know because when you when you pull the curtain back, you feel me? Yeah. I know about them. You can't. Yeah, you got to watch your mouth. You know what I mean? Your channel might. Never mind. But okay. I think them wanted to bring black people here for other reasons. I think so. But here's the thing. All right, here. See, I like this type of topic right here. Here's the thing, Saul. Isn't it funny? Everybody else knows where they come from, except the black American. Isn't that funny? Isn't that a coincidence? But I know where we came from. If you look this word up, and I can't even really say it because they low key, they like blacklisted the word from the internet. I know people like, man, do you know where you come from? I know exactly where we came from. I know it's the name, and it's on the map, or it was on the map. They took it off the map. I'm not even gonna go deep into it. You feel me? But yeah, this is some great stuff right here. Yeah, I think they brought us here for other reasons too. for sure. Um, and the little the drink, I'll say the drink. That is such a dope way to say that. I never would have thought of that. And that's why when you said it earlier, I was like, what are you even talking about? And it's like, oh, so you shout out to Saul. Shout out to Saul. If you know, you know. You feel me? If you know, you know. If you don't, you ain't finna find out for me on this channel. Oh man. But yeah, if people were a slave, if you say you was, you would go back to your motherland country. Right. I feel you, right? I agree. But ours was erased, eradicated, erased from history. But it's proof. There's maps. It's in our the Library of Congress. Even if you searched up, there's a map that'll show where we came from, the name and everything. But you can't even really say it without them blacklist. It's crazy when you say the name. Um, but yeah, that's deep. Saul says, on that note, peace out. Congrats on it. Thank you. Thank you much, Saul. Thank you. I know we made it to 100. That's a whole lot. That's hours upon hours. Look at Callie behind us looking so just spectacular with them palm trees. Sticker Man says, I'm a Stowe ambassador, bro, in case you need questions. No, I don't need questions, but shout out. I was a Stowe ambassador. You feel me? So that's what's up. Shout out to Sticker Man. Oh, okay. You're talking to that guy I think you're talking about. So yeah, if anybody has questions for a Stowe ambassador, boom, Sticker Man can help us out. Peter says, drink plenty of water, wear comfortable safety shoes, wear loose clothes. Boom. So those are some things, NJ. See, water and comfortable shoes. Sounds like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll put that on the list. Number 29 need to be number 1 and 2. Sleep, water, comfortable shoes. Wear loose clothes. I've never wore loose clothes just because I was always thinking it would get caught on something. That's a new one, Peter. Why are you saying loose clothes? I never really thought of that. Says just take your time. They will give you 3 weeks grace period. Get used to Amazon culture, right? That's a fact. You do have a learning curve for sure. At least on on entry level positions. He said he was coming in for L4, so I'm not sure how that learning curve is for that position. Rondo says, "Oh well, thank you much." Rondo dropped 2 super chats for today. He dropped a $10 super chat and then just dropped a $2. Thank you much, Rondo. Appreciate you. Oh, a shoey. He says when you drink beer from a shoe, maybe next time. Bam, I drunk beer one time in my life. I was like 9, probably like 7, because my grandma had it. She would drink beer like if something like what? Why did she drink? It was for a reason. Like she wasn't a beer drinker, but she would drink it sometimes to go to sleep, right? And she always would have it. I would always see it. And then, I see it in the movies as a little kid. So I remember I was like, Grandma, let me taste your beer. Let me taste your beer. And then one time she was like, oh, you want to taste it? I was like, yeah. Here. What? I'm thinking I'm finna get spanked. So I'm like, kind of, hands start shaking every time I get close. No, I don't remember. But I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, taste it. I tasted it. It tastes like I can't even, it just tasted disgusting. The worst thing I ever tasted. I spit it out, and she knew what she was doing. She did it on purpose. Worst thing I ever tasted. I never sipped beer again in my life. One sip is all it took at 7 years old. Never wanted it again. So sadly, I won't be doing a shoey. I won't be doing that. Oh, that's guts. You feel me? Sticker Man says, okay, distracted water. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. And at least that's my experience. Distracted water spiders, that was what annoyed me. But yeah, yeah, yeah. We touch and agree on that one for sure. Peter says now they track down water spider. They have system called Amazon Virtual Adana. Now AAs. Oh, that's Andon, where AAs have to request supplies through Virtual Andon. Not Adana. Y'all call it Adana? They changed the name up. It was an Andon back in my day. Yeah, you would go to the system, boom. We usually had out of work Andons, and you didn't want to get that, but yeah, you had out of work Andons, or if you had your problem solves piled up. You'll hit an andon. Man, I forgot about andons. I never knew. I guess y'all call it Adonis now. Shout out to Adana. You feel me? But yeah, yep. Okay, I know. I remember that, Peter. I remember that. Rondo said it doesn't have to be beer, but that's the gist. Got you. Nah, that's nasty. Maybe because I be in my shoes. All my shoes is like worn. I mean, they don't look bad. They all look nice, but I be walking. I'm very active, so I wouldn't want to drink nothing out of my shoes. Because if I drunk anything, it'd be like a smoothie. Can you imagine a smoothie out of a shoe? Nah, I can't do it. Nah, I couldn't do that, man. Shout out to you though, Rondo. Good looking though. Peyton says, is it better to work at a well running facility or a low running facility to help make an impact and move up? That's a great question. That's a real good question. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who would, you know what I mean? I don't know who would choose that, like who would base their decision off of that because these facilities aren't too close to each other. They're closer than what they're popping up everywhere now, but I think there's benefit in both. My entry building was LGB3. It was nothing but all-stars there. When I came in, every PA was like the NBA. If we look at it like the league, them dudes was all-stars. You know what I mean? But that worked on my behalf because you know what I mean? I put in that work and they was like, yo, who's this kid? Who's this? You feel me? Who's this? You know, it's like somebody balling in high school going to the league. They're like, yo, who's that guy? So it worked out on my behalf because if you can hang with the all-stars and you're not even in the vest yet, you feel me? It causes more of a spotlight on you. But if you're in a low performing facility and you come in and kill it, I think that would probably be the easiest, because I think that'll cause you to stand out quicker and more because it's already a low performing place and you come in killing it, you're gonna stand out like crazy. But I think it's more difficult, I'm not gonna lie, to try to stand out in a well-oiled facility. You know what I mean? A team that's already killing it, I think it'd be harder to stand out, but I think it may be more rewarding in there because you're different. You got to be different, but it's challenging. But you got to be different to stand out in them situations. So either way, I'm trained to look at the the best of everything. So I think you can make a great situation out of both of those, but I think it'll be more difficult in a well-oiled machine already. But the benefit of that is if you get proven in that, you feel me? I just think that's great. Because if I would have stayed at that building, I would have already probably been an ops right now because other people who was in my position is at that level. But I had to go to a different building due to family situations. But both can do well. The easiest way though, I think, will be a low performing facility. BBLs love it. I'm black. You black? Hold on. You just said you was white. Are you white or black? Now I don't trust you, sticker man. Let me pull up your other comment. You just said you was white, and I think you said you was German or something like that. Let me see. And now you saying you black? Hold on. Look at that. You says, unless I read this wrong. I might have read this wrong. Okay. Slavery is old school moving forward in Promised Land. My answer, do not care about the old school of life as we can move forward. Wait, no. You had another comment. Where did you say that? You said something about Germany or something like that. They need to stop playing these commercials behind me. I'm finna find that comment because I know I'm not tripping. I knew I'm not tripping. Bro, where'd that comment go? Man, you said it. I know you said it. I don't know where it went though. And we had a lot of comments so far. But I guess I'll just didn't you say you was from Germany or something like that? Anyways, let me just keep going. Let me see. Where am I at? So Sticker Man, let me know. Are you black or are you white? I thought you said you was white. They bringing the razor back. Y'all remember the razor? Bruh, the razor. We had that in high school. That was way back in 2006, 7, and 8. That's crazy. All right. Hey, let's go. Shout out to my dude D. Good looking, fam. Appreciate that, my dude. He shot a $10, what's his name? Super chat. That's a super blessing. As I always say, I'm very appreciative. That means a lot in these times. So thank you so much, fam. That means a lot, bro. Appreciate you, my dude. Thank you, thank you. Like you said, lunch on me, bro. Good looking, good looking. Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you. $10 from D. Let's go. Good looking on a super chat, D. All right, let's see. You said you tripping. You said you're from Africa. We need pagers back. Nah, you said you was white, fam. You said because then that's when I said about the whole white and black construct. I remember that combo. I'm not tripping. Don't try to say don't make it seem like I'm tripping, Sticker Man. I'm gonna pull it back up again. All right. Anyways, he said OSHA covers safety, but what about Amazon facilities? I want to join AWS to make a difference. Inserts help out. I drink 2 gallons of water night and help my customers out every shift. See, once again, somebody else saying sleep. Oh, then he didn't say sleep. This is what we say. Inserts and water. Those are things that everybody has said who's talked about that is important. So yeah, it's showing you this is, Sticker Man's a problem solver, ambassador, and something else I forgot. So, it's somebody with experience. Everybody who's commented actually who had experience. So definitely that water and inserts is a must. Leroy says it's really all mental at Amazon. I'll be facts. I agree. I would say mostly for sure. Facts. I agree. I agree. If you go in with a decent attitude, you'll be fine. Facts. I agree. I've been in Amazon since 2018. Wow. And 90% of my time there has been fine. Shout out to Leroy. I agree, fam. Checkmate. You feel me? Checkmate like the picture, like your profile picture. I agree. I think that's one of the, and I said that in a lot of my videos talking about moving up. That's the difference. That's the difference, in my opinion. Type the word on the PC behind you. Oh, nah. That little, I know it now. What's it called? Shoey or showy or whatever that thing is? Nah. People do that. Why would you drink beer out of a shoe? That's deep. People just be doing stuff nowadays, huh? I mean, I've seen that before. I don't know nobody who's done that, but out of a shoe, that's just yeah, that's not you. I mean, that's not in me. I can't fix myself to drink anything out of a shoe. You know, shout out to you, D. Sticky Man says Amazon overall is a great culture. Over 2 years now, I began to enjoy it. Policies suck, but the money is good once you're hired in. That's a good take. That's a good take. I think I definitely think the money is above average. You know what I mean? That's kind of where, because I have seen the culture, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, my experience, the culture could be different. It can be different depending, even, you know what I mean? Like it can be different depending on the team, and then it can be different depending on their biases, like, or it could be different on if a, like you're an above and beyond employee. So your environment's going to be a little bit better than those who just do their job, or that could be the possibility because you do more, you know what I mean? So they're going to show you favor, be more cool with you, give you more leniency and all that stuff. But for the most part, um, the Amazon, and it's just my opinion and my experience, not a representative of the company, not a spokesman, but in my opinion, I would agree for the most part, the work culture, even in some of the bad teams I've been in, and I was never on a bad team, but like my overtime days where I had to work overtime and their team was just like their employees was telling me because I was a PA, like, yo, help me get on your shifts because our our culture was so dope. Um, it's still not bad as other companies. Like other companies, you know what I mean? You can really have a terrible work culture. But here's one of the reasons. I'll go with this. And here's one of the reasons why I think why I think it's so low key. And here some people won't agree, but the company will hold their leadership accountable if it's brought up for the most part. Like I've seen certain things happen and employees go to HR and that situation get handled. You know what I mean? And I think that keeps AMs on their toes. Um, you know what I mean? To even where they don't like somebody or something, they, you know what I mean? It keeps it neutral. And a lot of companies, you don't have that. You have people who, like they rule with the iron fist, and there's no HR to combat that or to, you know what I mean, to kind of step in. Um, so I think that's one of the things that kind of helps the overall work culture, in my opinion, just from what I've seen. But I would agree. I want to say great just because it's a job. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't want to be like that. I think I can't. Here's what I will say. My greatest job experience when it comes to work culture has been with Amazon. I'll say that for sure. Like, out of all the jobs I've worked, the best out of all of them, the one that I had the best experience on work culture was with Amazon for sure. Not my whole time, but as a PA, there was a time as a PA that the culture that I was working in, the work culture I was working in, perfect. And I've never experienced nothing like that. You know what I mean? So shout out for people that don't realize that. You know what I mean? Like that does play a whole part in everything in your work, um, in your work. Look, I'm getting tired. No, I'm not getting tired, but I know I've got some food in the room waiting. But that does play a part. Shout out to those who get to experience that because it does make all the difference. Peter says, I meant to breathe. Oh, breathable clothes. Got you. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because during prime week or peak, it's going to be very busy and hot. That's true. We we don't want to wear tight clothes. Okay. Breathable clothes, I get it. That makes sense. That makes sense. Shout out to Peter. Best way to run the dock. I never worked physically on the dock. Actually, I did. I did. Um, I don't know how it is now. I know it's another ball game from what it was like when I was there, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm not sure, fam. But it all to me, the greatest return that I've seen in every department that I have worked in has been the mind. I know that sounds crazy, but being a motivating person, that has brought me the most return in every department that I applied that in. You know what I mean? To the point it always caused eyes to be on me and for people to say, "What are you doing?" You know what I mean? And one of the things that set me apart was the mindset, and the way that you connect with your employees. You understand and they are humans. You treat others the way you want to be treated. Those little things make all the difference. You know what I mean? You actually care about your employees can take you a long way. That's you're depositing an investment into these. You know what I mean? That's how I look at people as an investment, and I invest into them. I deposit into them, whether it be an encouragement, whether it be all pointing out what they're doing good as much as you can, because there's going to be a time that you're going to have to go to bring a correction. Now imagine how there's so many AMs and managers and other jobs too. The only time they come to you is when it's a negative report. It's for correction. How would that make somebody feel? How do you expect that person to jump for you when you need them to jump when the only time you come around is when you have negative news? You feel me? So that's one of the best things that nobody really knows how to, or I haven't really seen people implement, that I think is one of the biggest, because I've been around the strategist. Oh yeah, the number guy, and they have all the plans and it works. I'm like, man, that's dope for sure. Okay, we see the number increase. That's what's up. But I've literally seen a whole team when I said jump, they didn't even ask how high. You feel me? They just went through the roof. You feel me? Things that I've never seen in the workplace through the mental. So I think that's one of the main things that's beneficial in every department that'll set you apart. But like I said, I didn't spend too much time on the I don't or the doc is on a whole nother level now from when I was there. So, but I think that'll be a good start just on the mental side. And and on the just treating people as the way you want to be treated. That goes a long way. Peter says, mistype. Oh, okay. Andon. They Andon through virtual. Got you. Okay. I was like, they changed it to Adana. Shout out to Peter. Sticker Man says, Amnesty can see out of work Andons and blocking Andons nowadays. I hate it. As Amnesty. Got you. Good. Late line hauls crash. Late line hauls crash. Sticker Man says, I walked 13 miles yesterday as Amnesty. I believe it. I believe it. I missed that. I used to put up like 16 miles, 15 as a PA. I missed it. I ain't gonna lie. SBGRR1 is NBA, not your facility. I don't know what you mean, fam. I don't know what you're talking about on that one, Sticker Man. My bad. Peter says, I walk up to 20 miles because I do a ICQA for pack department. I have to cover all AFE single. Yep. See, yeah, I missed that though. I can't lie, man. That's low key like a great thing. Your cardiovascular, you're keeping your blood moving. Like that's very beneficial. Peyton says, is it better running the dock or the grid? I don't know what the grid is, but I would probably choose the grid. Yeah, I don't even know what it is, but the dock, which dock? Both of them is crazy. I would probably choose the grid, and I don't know what it is. That's just me personally, though. Oh, yeah, makes sense. Sticker Man says, I'm always 8 to 10% in stow, never bottom 5. My management loves me as a worker and Amazonian. Stocking shelf is easy. That's what's up. That's what's up. German and black. Got you. That's an interesting mix. Okay, so I knew I wasn't tripping. Yeah, you said German. That's what's up. German and black. I don't think I've ever heard that. That's what's up. That's what's up. Peter says tracking down all defects items and manage virtual inventory and pack department, such as deleting and moving items from shoots and active dwell shipments. Got you. Mixed parents. Got you. But see, we're different. That's why I feel the way I feel. You feel the way you feel, and it's okay. But we're different. You know what I mean? You said you're from Africa, right? Over 400 years ago. That's like asking Jamaicans to call themselves, they're Jamaicans now, but they came from the slave trade as well, but they now identify as Jamaicans, because that from Africa, that was a whole long time ago. That's why that's actually a big talk going on in the Black American community saying, we Black Americans, you feel me? Because we didn't been here over 400 years, like people don't call Jamaicans African Jamaicans. So they don't call everybody else who got dropped off in the slave trade African, etc. Only for us. So that's why, that's actually been a thing in the community that's been talked about, which I understand too. I agree with. I ain't gonna lie. All right. We need pagers back. No, we don't need no pagers. Why we need pagers back when we got the text on the phone? Pagers was fly though. You feel me? Back then, my grandpa, he owned a pager store, so I used to have the pagers with the see-through case. Man, I was those was lit. Amnesty, OMR's EMT in the warehouse. That's deep. That's deep. Shout out to EMT in the warehouse. That's what's up. Congrats on that. How long after becoming a PA were you able to run the show and do all that TOT and coding? You learn coding and TOT off top, like off the bat. You're gonna need to know how to do that. So that's kind of like entry. starting that position, you're gonna run that quick. But run the show, it's gonna probably everybody's different. It took me about to run the show, and what I mean by that is like, hey, I'm telling my manager, hey, go politic. I'm like, hey man, go politic with the people, fam. Like, don't even trip. I had my manager taking extra lunches, extra long lunches, extra breaks. You feel me? Like, and my manager would go on vacations, and I'm running the whole thing the whole time and doing better on purpose. I would do that on purpose. I would do better when they gone. I would always do great, but we just, just to let people know, like, hey, you feel me? Just to let the team know. But I think maybe like 3 months, maybe 2 months. Nah, I say 3 months. 3 months, and you gotta go through. I think to really run this show, it could be like 3 months. But if you can get 3 months and a peak or a prime, once you go through at least one of those for once, because it hits different. Prime, it hits different. Peak hits different. Yeah, it don't matter how dope you are. Do a peak and do a prime. Then, you know what I mean? Because that's when you peak, you're peaking volume. Prime is peak volume as well. You know what I mean? So once you get those under your belt, you on, man. Did I get you teary-eyed? My guy, please. This guy. This guy. Did I get you teary-eyed? Come on, man. We grown men over here. Stop it. Believe says, me, I'm never stepping down from PA position, only going up. Sadly, hard work alone isn't enough to move up. It's also the connections you make. Sadly, a guy got promoted and he didn't speak English. How'd that happen? That's deep. That goes on in Amazon. That's crazy. Huh. I ain't never. That's a rarity. That's a in my case, in my situation, I've never seen that. That's deep. But you know what I mean? Like, look, just don't let that discourage you. I'm not saying it is, but you just um, keep executing, keep doing what you got to do, and the time will come. Your time will come. More so, just be focused on being prepared when that time comes. But that's deep. I've never seen that happen before. Somebody who doesn't speak English got promoted. That's deep. I've never seen that. Shout out to them. How that happened? You feel me? Shout out to them. They must be really killing it. You feel me? Like, how much are they killing it to get promoted and they don't even speak English? That's like salute. I want to be like, hey, salute, fam. That's what's up. He knows the tier 6 where I'm at. And because you wouldn't get promoted in the US without being able to speak English, that's crazy. No, I do think that is crazy for sure. You feel me? I wouldn't hate on it though, but yeah. But well, here's my thing. How how does that work though? Because wait, you say he got promoted to what'd you say? I don't know what position he got promoted to, but if that's a PA, how does one engage? The key thing that you're doing is engaging. How do you engage if you don't speak? You know what I mean? If you don't speak the language, I don't. That's the part I don't get. How does that work? I don't know. But you feel me? I'm not a hater. I'm not a, I'm like, I would just be like, wow, salute. You know what I mean? If it came from hard work, if it didn't come from hard work, then nah, I don't respect that, but that's different. The only thing I can really say about that is I've never seen that happen because the key thing is engagement. So how does one engage? That's the only question I would have. Where you at, FC or DS? I'm on the corporate side at the moment. Yeah, we behind computers in the office. I was in the FC though. Sticker Man says, stay away from Ship Dog. Yeah, Ship Dog is a beast. Sticker Man, he's mixed. Believe says you at the delivery. Shout out to the delivery station. Sticker Man says the pager. SB tripping. Remember my name. You mixed. I'm somewhat white, but not. Got you. Got you. Very important stuff working. Mental game, definitely a mental game for sure. You got to be mentally there. Just remember, stow books upright, not sideways. Right. Peter says took good 6 months to learn everything. Once learned, Right. See, I think that's a great time frame. 6 months. That's a great time frame right there because that gives you enough time to experience. Because it's going to get a point, or maybe where you think you know it all, but then a new situation that you haven't experienced comes up. It's like, how do I deal with this? We've never experienced this. It's like, oh, okay, well, boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, I think 6 months is a great time to give you enough time to experience everything that could happen. So yeah, I agree with Peter. That's a good amount of time. Sticker Man says we deal with challenges of language. What? What is that word, fam? Is language what? Is that you mean barriers? I think that's what you mean. I don't know what that means. As Black humans, dealing with Nigeria workers is hard. No interviews, just passing a drug test. Okay. Hold on. We would deal with challenges of the language barriers. Okay. Got you. Dealing when it comes to Nigeria's working. Okay. No interviews, just passing. Got you. That's different. Maybe things have changed or maybe things are different. I don't know. I have zero insight on that. You know what I mean? How does that work? I have no clue. But I don't know. You feel me? I don't know. That's deep though. 9% of my job is indirect. That's what's up. From coding, labor share. Right. Labor share. Shout out to gotta love shifting all the people around, doing stuff they don't want to do. Labor share, labor tracking. Right. All right, y'all. We're gonna end it all for the night. We went longer than I was supposed to. It's 2 hours and 51 minutes. That was good, y'all. That was good. That was a long live from what we usually do. But we're gonna end it there, man. So listen, if y'all ain't hit that like button, hit that like button. If you ain't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to that channel. We're gonna be live again next week. I have vlogs that I want to get recorded. Hopefully I can get recorded. And man, it was something I was gonna say. I forgot though. I forgot. Anyways, though, man, listen, y'all have a blessed week. Y'all be safe. Like I said, if y'all gonna tune in next week, we're gonna be here at 7. And other than that, y'all be safe out there. It's your boy SB. Let's go. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Hit that like, hit that